Chapter 4591. Facing Duan Lingshan's question, Guo Lin smiled wryly and said, Master Uncle entered Tongtian Pagoda some time ago, and came out with some injuries, and is recuperating. However, Uncle Master said that if Lord Duan Lingtian wants to see him, he can be summoned. Hearing Guo Lin's words, Duan Lingtian couldn't help but wonder, has he entered Tongtian Tower? Didn't he say he didn't plan to go in for the time being? The last time he was asked to go in with the old Meng of Bibo Tianfu, he didn't go in, but he went in by himself later. Hearing Duan Lingshan's self-talk, Guo Lin smiled even more bitterly. He also knew about that matter. For this reason, he knew that his uncle regretted it to death. Lord Duan Lingtian, Uncle Master, he heard that the second and third people who entered the Tongtian Tower had the benefits bestowed by heaven, which reduced the difficulty of passing through the level. But he missed the second opportunity to enter, and he felt that so unbalanced that it went to babble. Hearing Guo Lin's words, Duan Lingtian shook his head and smiled, I see. However, there's nothing wrong with this matter. After all, Tiandao didn't inform you in advance that the first 3 people who enter Tongtian Tower will have special benefits. There's no need to call him. The purpose of my visit this time is for those 2 people. Has everyone been arrested? Duan Lingtian asked straight to the point. They're all there, I'm going to bring them out. After Guo Lin finished speaking, he left, and came back not long after, bringing with him 2 people who were weak and obviously seriously injured. It was Han Jiang and Tuobo Yansheng. The person who joined forces with the Fu family Bansheng to kill Duan Yue in the past. As for injuring them, it was also for the other semi-sages in Qingyuan Hengzong to take better care of them, lest any accidents happen, and they were even more afraid that they would run away. As a sage, Guo Lin's status in the Qingyun sacred sect is there, so it is impossible for him to condescend to guard them all the time. Master Duan Lingtian. Seeing Duan Lingtian, Han Jiang and Tuobo Yansheng knelt down together, their bodies trembling and their voices trembling. The death of Yi Bansheng in the past was purely the work of Du Liangming of the Fu family, and has nothing to do with us. Before Guo Lin brought them here, he had already told them that he would hand them over to Duan Lingtian. Therefore, when they saw Duan Lingtian himself, they knelt down and begged for mercy, shirking responsibility, and only hoped to save their lives. Laugh. Duan Lingtian looked at the 2 of them indifferently, and said calmly, if you didn't work together, Fu Liangming would be alone. I'm afraid I won't be able to kill my sister Yue. Hearing this, Han Jiang and the 2 felt desperate, but they didn't stop begging for mercy. Master Duan Lingtian, I am willing to plead guilty, as long as you are willing to spare my life. From now on, I am willing to follow your lead. Lord Duan Lingtian, you spare my life. In the future, I will be a dog by your side, and I will be at your command at any time. The 2 of them took this as the last straw, and it was the most valuable thing they could give. They both hoped that the person in front of them would appreciate it and spare their lives. When Duan Lingtian heard the words, he smiled contemptuously. Now, if he wants to find someone to follow, let alone a semi-saint, even an ordinary saint would be willing to follow him. He didn't talk nonsense with the 2 of them anymore, and directly took their lives. The vows of the 2 of them were self-destructed. Although he had the opportunity to coax the 2 of them and let them lift the vows and admit their masters first, he didn't do that, because he disdainful, and he didn't think there was anything in the hands of the 2 that he liked thing. The 2 half-saints were killed in a blink of an eye, and only 2 supreme godheads were left behind, which were taken away by Duan Lingtian. In the future, take care of the Duan family. Before leaving, Duan Lingtian glanced at Guo Lin and said calmly. Without the Duan family who is relying on Bansheng, these years must not be easy, but if Qingyun Shengzong is willing to take care of it, they can naturally live well, at least not as jet-lagged as his sister Yue. Bibo Tianfu will definitely not treat the Duan family badly. Let Qingyun Shengzong take care of the Duan family together, and hope that the Duan family will get better and better in the future. Yes, Lord Duan Lingtian. Guo Lin responded respectfully, not daring to be negligent. Not long ago, my uncle and I ordered the people below to treat Bibo Tianfu Duan's family well. Today, I will personally go to Bibo Tianfu and Duan's house, so that they can come to Qingyun's sacred sect directly to find me if they have any troubles in the future. This is also equivalent to flattering Duan Lingtian. Although the Duan family is not a force in the Qingyun sacred sect area, it does not affect them to take care of the Duan family. He even planned to ask the Duan family if they would like to come to Qingyun Xingzong to develop in the past today. Qingyun Xingzong is willing to rebuild a more glorious Duan family for them in their own area. Duan Lingtian nodded. If you do well, I will definitely repay you in the future. Hearing this, Guolin immediately showed a bright smile. Isn't this what he longed for? The promise of an existence beyond the saint is no different from a life-saving talisman to Qingyun Xingzong. He knew very well, after the addition of multiple entrances to the Tongtian Tower, it will definitely become the norm for saints and Jiazun to enter the Tongtian Tower to break through and take the talisman of heaven. In the future, there will definitely be more Xian 7th Order existences. He also knew that his uncle's strength was inferior to that of Bibo Tianfus Meng Lao. Even if he could get the heavenly Dao talisman in a short time, he would definitely not dare to usher in the taboo realm of catastrophe easily. Now, Qingyun Xingzong, as a saint force, has a detached status in a place outside the boundary where there is only one, extreme 7th level. But with the increase of the strongest 7th level existence in the land outside the boundary, the status of Qingyun Holy Sect will inevitably drop again and again. At that time, maybe someone will be watching. Under such circumstances, having a good relationship with Lord Duan Lingtian is naturally the most important thing. After leaving Qingyun's sacred sect, Duan Lingtian was not in a hurry to return to Nishan realm. Instead, looking back all the way, the road that I walked from the Red Demon Ridge when I came to the outside world in the past, there were noble people helping me along the way, and there were also evil spirits in power. In the past, his abilities were limited. Now that he has strength, he will naturally repay kindness and revenge. People who met in the past, seeing Duan Lingtian again, and knowing that Duan Lingtian is the second Xian 7th level powerhouse after the historical severance, were all shocked. Although they also guessed when they saw the words of Tian Dao in the past, they didn't expect that it was really the Duan Lingtian they knew. People who are kind to Duan Lingtian are delighted and excited. People who have hatred for Duan Lingtian, when they are in despair, regret that they offended each other in the past, and even more regret that they did not kill the grass and roots in the past. After spending a while, Duan Lingtian took another trip to Bibo Tianfu after finishing all the matters in the outer boundary. Chapter 4592. In Bibo Tianfu, Duan Lingtian once again met Xiao Tianxi, the Golden Dragon Palace Lord. Hall Master. Duan Lingtian greeted Xiao Tianxi with a smile, and then greeted the person behind Xiao Tianxi, who was Xiao Tianxi's disciple, Ku Yi. In the past, when he first arrived at Bibo Tianfu, Ku Yi was the one who received him and took good care of him later on. Ku Yi, long time no see. After greeting Xiao Tianxi, Duan Lingtian nodded and smiled at Ku Yi again. This also made Ku Yi look terrified. After all, the present one is no longer the high-ranking deity in the past. The other party is now a super existence that his master would look up to. I have met Lord Duan Lingtian. Ku Yi followed his master Xiao Tianxi and bowed in salute. Hall Master, you and Ku Yi are both my old acquaintances. There is no need to be so polite. Duan Lingtian shook his head lightly, and then asked bluntly, Hall Master, what desire do you have in Bibo Tianfu? If you want to be the master of Bibo Tianfu, I will go to Meng Lao to say hello, and I think he will not refuse. Duan Lingtian asked straight to the point with a smile. Hearing this, Xiao Tianxi couldn't help but smile wryly. Duan Lingtian and others, I have no intention of being the master of Bibo Tianfu, so you must not say hello to this old man. He'll take it seriously if you say hello. He knew that the reason why the ancestor of their Bibo Tianfu was able to pass the test of the Tongtian Tower and the Taboo Realm was entirely because of the person in front of him. That ancestor, after returning to Bibo Tianfu, immediately summoned all the high-level officials of Bibo Tianfu, bluntly saying that Duan Lingtian will be Bibo Tianfu's most honored friend in the future, and when seeing Duan Lingtian, he should respect Duan Lingtian as if he was seeing him, and should not be neglected. If Duan Lingtian needs Bibo Tianfu to do something, Bibo Tianfu also needs to go all out. At first, he didn't understand why the ancestor was like this. Until later, after knowing that the reason why the ancestor could step into the Xian 7th level was entirely because he was the first person to enter the Tongtian Tower, he was relieved. Duan Lingshan's kindness to the ancestors and Bibo Tianfu is too great. If the ancestor didn't have Duan Lingshan's help this time, he would definitely fall under the 10,000 years calamity less than 1,000 years later, and even if the taboo realm calamity was brought ahead of time, he probably wouldn't be able to survive it. This is the grace of continuation of life. And the existence of the ancestor is as important as Mount Tai to Bibo Tianfu. He can be sure, if Duan Lingtian really told that patriarch that Shao Tianxi should be the master of Bibo Tianfu, then the patriarch would definitely order him to replace the current master and become the new master of Bibo Tianfu. However, he is really not interested in the position of palace lord. The appearance of Tongtian Tower also made him see hope. In the past, the ceiling he could see was limited to sages, and with his talent, it was only a matter of time before he stepped into the realm of saints, and he didn't expect much. But now, he was really looking forward to it. After stepping into the saint, he still has the heavenly Tao talisman in the Tongtian Tower as his target. In the back, there is even the 7th Order Xian as the target. Alright. It can be seen that Shao Tianxi is really not interested in the position of the master of Bibo Tianfu. Duan Lingtian didn't say any more, but he still gave Shao Tianxi a promise. Master, if there are any difficult things that need my help in the future, you can find me in the God-defying realm. Thank you, Lord Duan Lingtian. Shao Tianxi responded respectfully. This time, Duan Lingtian didn't bother to persuade Shao Tianxi anymore, because he knew that the difference in strength made it impossible for Shao Tianxi to treat him like in the past. It was Ku Yi who was behind Shao Tianxi, who talked and laughed happily with him in the past, and talked about friendship with his peers. How casual. But now, with Shao Tianxi separated, he could feel Ku Yi's fidgeting. After meeting Shao Tianxi's master and apprentice, Duan Lingtian declined Shao Tianxi's invitation to stay as a guest, left and returned to the God against God realm, preparing to wait for Kier to wake up. He could tell that Kier was about to wake up soon. At this moment, he couldn't help but feel extremely excited. What Duan Lingtian didn't know was, not long after he returned to the God-defying realm, a not-so-big thing happened in Bibo Tianfu. That is, the Duan family, the former semi-holy family of Bibo Tianfu, welcomed the saint from Qingyun's sect, and the saint even invited the Duan family to Qingyun's sacred sect to establish a clan. Everyone in the Duan family was both apprehensive and excited about the saint's arrival. Saint, personally invite them? At the same time, they couldn't help but think of, some time ago, some semi-holy forces, after learning that Duan Yue, the semi-saint of their Duan family, had died many years ago, started planning their property under the Duan family. The Duan family is in danger. However, just 2 months ago, at Bibo Tianfu, there was a semi-sage who walked out, shouted back those semi-sacred forces, and bluntly said that the Duan family was under his protection. That's no ordinary half-saint. He is the master of the Golden Dragon Palace in Bibo Tianfu, a powerful half-sage in Bibo Tianfu. At that time, they realized that the Duan Lingtian who had stepped into the Xian 7th stage, announced by the text of the Heavenly Tao, was actually Duan Lingtian who had stayed in their Duan family for a while in the past. People. Master Guolin kindly invites you and promises all kinds of benefits. I think our Duan family can't make him face. The current elder of the Duan family spoke excitedly in the Duan family's meeting hall. He supported the migration of the Duan family. At this time, the patriarch of the Duan family did not speak for the time being, but sent a message to the master of the Golden Dragon Hall of Bibo Tianfu, informing him of this matter. The master of the Golden Dragon Palace, after he came to help the Duan family last time, left him a soul orb, so that he can contact him if he has any embarrassing things in the future. He will help the Duan family solve it. Because of this, the patriarch of the Duan family greeted the Qingyun sect sage who invited the Duan family to relocate. What? And when Xiao Tianxi, who was in Bibo Tianfu, received the news, he was also shocked. The sage of the Qingyun sect, Master Guolin, personally invited the Duan family to migrate to their side. At this time, he couldn't help thinking that Duan Lingtian seemed to be quite familiar with Zhao Ani, the saint of Qingyun sect. Thinking about the special status of the Duan family in Duan Lingshan's mind, he didn't go directly to the Duan family, because he felt that his rank was not enough, and he had to let the saints of Qingyun sect. At first he wanted to find someone else, but instead he went to find his ancestor Meng Han. What? The guy from Qingyun sect came to our Bibo Tianfu to poach the wall? Dig it, or the family that brother Duan Lingtian stayed in? After Meng Han learned the ins and outs of the matter from Xiao Tianxi, he asked Xiao Tianxi to lead the way to Duan's house immediately. Chapter 4593. At the meeting of the Duan family, the high-level voted and unanimously decided to agree to the request of the saint from Qingyun sect, and move the Duan family to the area of Qingyun's sacred sect. After all, the other party gave too much. Although in Bibo Tianfu, they can also be treated preferentially, but compared with what the other party promised, it is insignificant. However, they were about to agree to Guolin, a sage from Qingyun sect, but they were stopped by an old man from Bibo Tianfu. Guolin, you kid has really grown up, you dare to dig the corner of our Bibo Tianfu? An old and powerful voice resounded throughout the Duan family's mansion. It was Meng Han who rushed over with Xiao Tianxi. His tone was extremely unfriendly, and the distance was far away. His spiritual sense swept over him, which made Guolin feel a lot of pressure. Guolin, I met Mr. Meng. Guolin showed a look of horror, and he was only thinking of tricking the Duan family into their Qingyun sacred sect, so that he could further make friends with that Lord Duan Lingtian. Unexpectedly, this old Meng from Bibo Tianfu came to trouble him in person. Originally, in his expectation, Bibo Tianfu would not necessarily care whether the Duan family migrated away from Bibo Tianfu. After all, Bibo Tianfu now has the existence of the Xian 7th level. It may not be possible to make friends with Lord Duan Lingtian through such a family that doesn't even have a half-saint. The reason why he did this is entirely because their Qingyun sect is not yet a strong 7th level powerhouse. Guolin, you came to our Bibo Tianfu to poach the wall, does Xiao Zhao know? Meng Han stared at Guolin and asked with a cold snort. Guolin smiled awkwardly when he heard this. Old Meng, I'm not poaching, am I? I'm here purely because that Lord Duan Lingtian from the God-defying realm entrusted me to take care of the Duan family. I come to Duan's house to communicate with them, and it's all based on their wishes. If they are willing to migrate to our side, I welcome it. If they don't want to, it's okay. The Duan family is just a family that doesn't even have a half-sage. Presumably there is no shortage of Bibo Tianfu, right? Even in the past, in front of Meng Han, he didn't dare to do anything wrong. Not to mention, the current Meng Han is already beyond the existence of a saint. Master Xiao Tianxi. At the same time, some Duan family members present also recognized Xiao Tianxi behind Meng Han. Immediately afterwards, seeing the old man surrounded by Xiao Tianxi, and hearing Guolin's address to the old man, they vaguely guessed who this old man was. Meng Han, the saint and powerhouse of Bibo Tianfu. The first and strongest 7th order existence in the outer worlds. Meet Master Meng Han. Meet Master Meng Han. At this moment, even the patriarch of the Duan family and the senior officials of the Duan family were shocked. They never expected that this giant Buddha would suddenly come to their Duan family. Moreover, it seems that they are still here for the saints and powerhouses of the Qingyun sect to invite their Duan family to the Qingyun sacred sect. Could it be that he wants to keep their Duan family? Can't it? Just like the saints of the Qingyun sacred sect, their Duan family has now lost their half-sage. As for the Lord Duan Lingtian who made friends with him, Bibo Tianfu wouldn't be so concerned about this kind of thing, could it? After all, Bibo Tianfu now has an existence that is not weaker than Lord Duan Lingtian, and it is the Lord Meng Han in front of him. Meng Han first nodded to everyone in the Duan family with a benevolent smile, but when he looked at Guolin again, he didn't have a good face. Who said that the Duan family doesn't have a half-sage, and we, Bibo Tianfu, don't care about them? Meng Han stared at Guolin and said, "You said brother Duan Lingtian asked you to take care of the Duan family, so didn't he ask me to help take care of the Duan family?" Of course, what he said was to fool Guolin. Duan Lingtian really never told him about this. At most he asked Xiao Tianxi to take care of the Duan family. "Old Meng, if you don't want to let the Duan family leave, I will withdraw the previous invitation to the Duan family." Seeing that Meng Han didn't intend to let him take the Duan family away, Guolin shook his head with a wry smile, and then looked at the head of the Duan family, Patriarch Duan. "Since Bibo Tianfu doesn't want you to leave, then your Duan family should stay in Bibo Tianfu well. With Master Duan Lingshan's relationship, Bibo Tianfu must take good care of you. However, in the future, if your Duan family needs help from Qingyun's sacred sect for anything, you can come to Qingyun's sacred sect to find me at any time." After the words fell, Guolin greeted Meng Han again after the head of the Duan family responded, and then withdrew. This big Buddha, he really can't afford it. At this time, Meng Han also withdrew his gaze from Guolin's faraway back, and turned to look at the Duan family members, with a kind and charitable smile on his face. "What the guy promised to your Duan family just now, Bibo Tianfu can also give to you. In the future, if you need help with anything, you can find the people behind me. I'm sure you are familiar with him. He is the Lord of the Golden Dragon Palace in Bibo Tianfu, Xiao Tianxi." If he hadn't gone to Nishan Realm to compete with Duan Lingtian, even if he knew that Guolin came from Qingyun's sacred sect to invite the Duan family to migrate, he wouldn't care, because he would feel that he was also at the 7th level of Xian, and there was no need to go through a small family to curry favor with Duan Lingtian, who is also the 7th level Xian. However, after discussing with Duan Lingtian, Nishanji and his party made him realize the reality. In front of Duan Lingtian, he is still just a brother. Facing Duan Lingshan's master, Feng Qingyang, although he is slightly inferior, the gap is not too big. If it is a life and death fight, he may lose to Feng Qingyang, but it is still possible to retreat completely. But if it was a life and death battle with Duan Lingtian, he felt that unless he was willing to pay a huge price, it would be difficult to escape from Duan Lingshan's nose. In fact, Xiao Tianxi did not expect that the ancestor's reaction this time would be such a big one. When he went to find this ancestor, he was even prepared that the other party didn't care about the Duan family, whether the Duan family moved or not. Unexpectedly, this old ancestor went out in person and left the Duan family behind. "Thank you, Master Meng Han." "Thank you, Master Meng Han." Everyone in the Duan family thanked each other, and then Meng Han turned and left. Before leaving, he asked Xiao Tianxi to stay and ask the Duan family what Guolin had promised. What Guolin gave, Bibo Tianfu will also give as much. Xiao Tianxi was ordered to stay. The eyes of everyone in the Duan family were also particularly complicated. This family is really lucky. Originally, the loss of the only semi-saint was tantamount to a catastrophe for the Duan family. Unexpectedly, because of a brother-in-law recognized by that half-sage before his death, the Duan family's limelight in the future will be even greater than when the half-sage was there before. Of all this, Duan Lingtian naturally didn't know. 1 month after returning to the Nishan realm, Duan Lingtian finally waited for his wife Kir to wake up. Kir. Duan Lingtian entered the small world inside his body for the first time, and under the tree of life, he looked at Kir who had just opened his eyes, and his eyes were full of tenderness. Chapter 45-94. The long years have not left any traces on Kir. She is as young and lovely as before, with a beautiful face that is radiant, and a curvaceous figure that is charming. However, the first time after waking up, seeing the familiar and haunting handsome face in front of her eyes couldn't help but glisten, and the tears couldn't stop flowing down. Over the years, although her soul has been imprisoned, it does not mean that she is ignorant of everything around her. It's just that I can't control my body, and I can't communicate with people with my spiritual consciousness. I still have a sense of everything around me and know it in detail. She knew that the man in front of her left the God-defying realm for her, and went to a place outside the realm, looking for a way to release her soul from being imprisoned. How could she, as the daughter of the Xia family, who was the plane of the gods in the anti-god world, not know the dangers of the outside world? Brother Tian. Kier threw herself into Duan Lingshan's arms, excited inexplicably. Tears flowed down, soaking Duan Lingshan's clothes in a blink of an eye, but Duan Lingtian didn't seem to notice, tightly hugging Karaner in his arms. Mouth he kept comforting me. It's okay, it's okay. In the future, nothing like this will ever happen to you again. From now on, we will not be separated, and I will be able to protect you. Duan Lingtian comforted, but his eyes were also a little red. Looking back on the past journey, what he was most worried about was that before he had enough ability to release his wife Kier's soul imprisonment, Kier's soul would be obliterated in the next step. If so, how can he accept it? The two hugged each other, and one kept crying, feeling sorry for the other. The other person kept speaking to comfort him, with a patient and gentle tone, grinning at the corner of his mouth, happy from the bottom of his heart. His beloved wife finally woke up. From now on, she will not let her suffer any harm. Not far away. Li Fei, Feng Tianwu, and Huaner stood there, silently watching the embracing couple, without bothering them. It was not until a long time later that they parted and noticed them that they stepped forward. Kerr, you're finally awake. Li Fei approached, and it was okay at first, but when she saw Kier's flowery face and opened her eyes, she seemed to have gone back to the past for a moment, and when she thought of the cruelty to Kier in recent times, she couldn't help crying, slip and fall. The same is true for Feng Tianwu, who loves Kier. Huaner and Kier don't have much contact, but under the love of the house, they also feel distressed for Kier's experience. For the next period of time, Duan Lingtian stayed with the four girls. Chat with them and talk about what happened to them in the outside world. He also patiently listened to the four girls' mental journey. In the end, he started pointing at the cultivation of the four girls. In addition to Li Fei, Feng Tianwu and Huaner, Duan Lingtian had already given a supreme godhead to Kier. Duan Lingtian also gave Kier a supreme godhead. Since then, each of his close relatives has a godhead of the strongest. Now, his other relatives and friends, including his parents, children, are all in the place of God. The children are wandering outside, and they promise to be like their father and break out of their own world. Parents stayed at Xia's house to practice. After confirming that his parents had left the customs, Duan Lingtian brought Kier to the door, greeted them, and told them about the happy event. Seeing Kier waking up, Mother Li Ro burst into tears and was very excited. Father Duan Ruffeng also smiled all over his face, and at the same time told Duan Lingtian that he must take good care of his daughter-in-law in the future, otherwise even if he is not his opponent, he can deny him this son. Duan Lingtian agreed repeatedly. Time flies, like a white horse passing by. In the blink of an eye, 10 years have passed. In the past 10 years, Duan Lingtian has been comprehending and integrating the memories left by the old man Wukong while accompanying his family. I wanted to advance the way of swordsmanship to the 8th level, but I didn't expect it to be that simple. Instead, I pushed the way of control and the way of infinity to the 6th level. Although there is a complete memory, it is only a memory after all, and many aspects still need to be explored by oneself before it can be verified with the memory, resonate with it, and become its own. This day, the sky was turbulent, and Duan Lingtian, who was sitting cross-legged in a quiet courtyard of the Xia family, and the four girls beside him couldn't help raising their heads and looking at the sky. It is a line of heavenly text. Congratulations to Lei Hong of the Mingguan realm, with the 6th level cultivation base of the strongest, successfully passed the taboo realm, and is expected to become the 4th strongest 7th level powerhouse after the historical cutoff, surpassing the respected world and saints. Is this the heavenly Tao text? After Kier woke up, she also heard about the words of the Way of Heaven, and knew that the first time the words of the Way of Heaven appeared was to announce that her man had passed through the forbidden realm of catastrophe. Because her man is the first existence to survive the taboo realm after the historical partition. Now, she finally saw the text of the Tao of Heaven with her own eyes, which said that another person had passed through the taboo realm. The bright light realm is the upper three realms, right? Li Fei looked at Duan Lingtian and asked. After Duan Lingtian came back this time, she spent most of the time with Duan Lingtian, and also chatted about the upper three realms, but she didn't hear Duan Lingtian say which realms the upper three realms are. That's right. In fact, Duan Lingtian didn't know much about the upper three realms. Now that he suddenly saw the word Mingguang realm, he felt a little familiar, as if he had heard it mentioned by the realm master Xiao Mubai at first. Region? This name reminded him of the communication with Xiao Mubai back then, and at the same time he finally recalled it. Xiao Mubai said that after he successfully passed through the taboo realm of heavenly tribulation and left the god-defying realm, powerful men from the upper three realms came together and threatened the god-defying realm to hand him over. If you don't pay, the god against god realm will be destroyed. Among them, Lei Hong from the Mingguang realm was among the few realm venerables who took the lead. However, because of the threat of leaving a message before he left, these Jia Zun from all the powerful worlds in the 10,000 worlds were deeply afraid that he would retaliate after breaking through in the future, so they didn't dare to do it in the end. Let the god against god realm escape. I remembered. The last time that old Meng came, he also mentioned Lei Hong. At this time, Duan Lingtian remembered that Meng Han from Bibo Tianfu, a place outside the world, had mentioned Lei Hong to him and his master when he came to Nishan realm after stepping into the 7th level of Xi'an. Lei Hong, the third person to enter the Tongtian Tower, also received the welfare care of the heavenly Tao. The difficulty of breaking through the Tongtian Tower was reduced by 10%, and he got the heavenly Tao amulet. They were also the only 3 people who got the heavenly Tao talisman at that time. I didn't expect that Lei Hong, without the protection of the 4th heavenly talisman, also survived the taboo realm. Chapter 4595. Meng Han had told Duan Lingtian about the terrible taboos and catastrophes faced by Jizuan and saints of the 6th level. According to Meng Han's own words, that is to say, he has the 4th heavenly amulet in his hand, otherwise it is unlikely that he will successfully survive the taboo realm. Even so, there were still some injuries. It was entirely by the training of the new force after the breakthrough that the injury was fully recovered. Of course, the main reason is that he wasn't injured too badly. Now, Lei Hong in the Mingguang realm, after more than 10 years of getting the heavenly Tao amulet, has successfully passed through the taboo realm, the difficulty of which can be imagined. It seems that Lao Meng was bragging last time. Duan Lingtian still remembers that last time when Meng Han mentioned Lei Hong from the Mingguang realm and Fang Yifan from the Feathering realm, he not only said that the two were top powerhouses in the upper 3 realms, but also that their strength was comparable to his between brothers. Combining with what Meng Han said about the difficulty of facing the catastrophe in the taboo realm, since Lei Hong was able to break through the catastrophe smoothly, it means that his strength is probably higher than that of Meng Han. This Lei Hong is so powerful. The 4 girls around Duan Lingtian couldn't help but be surprised when they learned everything he knew from him. They didn't expect Lei Hong to survive such a difficult taboo. However, they didn't worry about their man, because they already knew that their man's current strength, even in the existence of the 7th level Xi'an, was the top existence. Mastered the 3 of the 4 ways of heaven and earth, and their attainments are not low, and when they are displayed together, no one can match them in the same realm. When Duan Lingtian and the 4 girls around him were surprised. Outside, because of the appearance of the heavenly Tao text about Lei Hong, the quartet was shocked. That Lei Hong in the Mingguang realm is about to break through? Several world masters from the Nishan realm, including Xiao Mubai, quickly gathered together, and fear could not help but appear in their eyes. A Jia Zun, after passing through the taboo realm, can immediately step into the 7th level of the strongest. In front, Meng Han was like this. This Lei Hong is not a kind person. A world lord said in a deep voice. Really? Xiao Mubai nodded. The last time Master Duan Lingtian successfully passed the taboo realm, he attracted powerful men from the upper three realms to threaten us, and among them, Lei Hong is the most arrogant. Xiao Mubai still has a deep impression on Lei Hong's superior attitude at that time. Moreover, when his father was there, he had heard that Lei Hong of the Mingguang realm had a violent temper, hurt people and killed people at every turn, and was recognized as the most combative realm master in the upper three realms. I didn't expect that it's only been 10 years. After that Master Meng Han, someone else will step into the 7th level of Xian. The other world master's expression was not very good, because it also meant that their past transcendent status in the Nishan realm was slowly disappearing. Perhaps, the god-defying realm is still the most feared because of the existence of 2 Xian 7th orders. But what about the future? Not to mention other places, let's talk about the Mingguang realm where Lei Hong is. And although there are no more than 10 Jesuan who are as famous as Lei Hong, they are not in the minority, more than one hand. Lei Hong can break the robbery smoothly, and they also have great hope. As for the other people in the Nishan realm, they don't feel much. One is only the 7th level Xian, but there are 2 such existences in their Nishan realm. Look! Lei Hong has officially broken through. Suddenly, Xiao Mubai raised his head and looked at the new line of Tiandao characters that appeared on the horizon after a while, showing a dignified expression. It can be seen that at this time, the text of the Way of Heaven on the horizon has become, "Congratulations to Lei Hong of the Mingguang realm, after passing through the taboo realm, he successfully broke through and became the 4th strongest existence of the 7th level after the historical partition, surpassing Jesuan and saints." The words of the Tao of Heaven that appeared one after another shocked the living beings of all worlds, and shocked countless living beings in the land outside the world. Another existence that surpassed the world venerable and saint was born. He was a top celestial venerable in the Mingguang realm in the past. At this moment, there was an uproar in Mingguang realm. That guy Lei Hong actually made a breakthrough? Somewhere in the Mingguang realm, in a vast valley with beautiful mountains and clear waters, an old man sitting cross-legged above a low-altitude waterfall looked at the heavenly Tao riding on the horizon. His complexion sank, and his eyes shone brightly. He doesn't have the 4th heavenly Tao talisman to rely on, and he broke through unexpectedly. It seems that even if there is no 4th heavenly talisman, I am not without a chance. This old man is also a Jesuan in the Mingguang realm, and he is as famous as Lei Hong. He has fought with Lei Hong several times, but they all ended in a draw. No one can do anything to the other. As the top realm venerable in the Mingguang realm, even the myriad realms, and beyond, he is confident in his own strength. Last time, because Lei Hong successfully entered the Tongtian Tower and successfully obtained the heavenly Tao talisman, but he didn't get it, his self-confidence was compromised a lot. However, when he learned from Bibo Tianfu, the place outside the boundary, the reason why Lei Hong was able to enter the Tongtian Tower once and get the heavenly Tao talisman was entirely because he was taken care of by the heavenly Tao. As the 3rd person to enter Tongtian Tower, the difficulty of breaking through the level has been reduced by 10%. If he had such benefits, he would also be able to bring out the heavenly Tao talisman at once. Last time it was a bit too hard. Looking inside, the old man sighed and shook his head. Although it's not a serious injury, it won't take more than 100 years for this injury to heal. Now, I have a certain understanding of the various levels in Tongtian Tower. Even if the level may not be the same the second time I enter it, it is still the same. There is a big difference between experienced and inexperienced. Last time, I was not far behind. When I recover from my injuries and my strength returns to its prime, I will enter Tongtian Tower again, and I will be able to break through and get the heavenly Tao amulet. While muttering to himself, the old man's tone revealed a strong confidence. And at the same time, including the Mingguang realm, a group of top realm venerables from the upper 3 realms who thought they were not weaker than Lei Hong were all waiting to recover from their injuries before entering the Tongtian Tower and getting the heavenly Tao amulet. Then when you are ready, hit the 7th level of Xian. Even the weaker Wanjie Jesuan who failed to enter the Tongtian Tower last time because of Meng Han's breakthrough, is trying his best to further improve his strength, and strive to get the heavenly Tao talisman next time he enters the Tongtian Tower. Not just myriad worlds. Even a group of saints in the outer world became restless after knowing Lei Hong's breakthrough. Certainly. The most restless person is Fang Yifan, the world's most respected powerhouse in the world of ascension. Fang Yifan, who got the Talisman of Heaven at about the same time as Lei Hong, has been preparing recently, but he is still not sure how to deal with the taboo realm of catastrophe, and has not taken a crucial step for a long time. Chapter 45-96. Since the last time he came back from Bibo Tianfu, a place outside the boundary, Fang Yifan knew the danger of the taboo realm. Even if he got the heavenly Tao talisman, he might not be able to pass that step smoothly. Therefore, I have been preparing all the time. Even if I feel that I am well prepared, I still dare not take the most critical step, which will lead to a taboo situation. Certainly. Meanwhile, he was waiting. Wait for Lei Hong to take that step first. If Lei Hong fails, he will be even less anxious, and wait until his strength can be further improved in the future, and he will have greater confidence before facing the taboo realm of catastrophe. Unexpectedly, instead of waiting for Lei Hong's failure, he waited for Lei Hong's success. Lei Hong walked ahead of him, stepped into the realm he dreamed of, and became the fourth strongest existence of the 7th level after the history was cut off. Lei Hong has succeeded. Am I not as good as him? In a few more months of preparation, I will also find a place to attract that forbidden realm of catastrophe. In Fang Yifan's eyes, there was a look of anticipation, and at the same time, he felt that the blood that had been silent for a long time seemed to boil at this moment, as if he had returned to the days when blood was spilled everywhere. It turned out that before he knew it, his courage had become so timid. It's not as good as a junior who dares to fight. Lei Hong is more than 10,000 years younger than him, and he is considered young among the top world masters in the world. Originally, he planned to go to Mingguang Realm to find Lei Hong and ask about the situation. However, he was afraid of being seen clearly by Lei Hong, and he didn't feel that he was inferior to Lei Hong, so he also dismissed this idea and prepared to welcome the arrival of the taboo realm by himself. In the Mingguang Realm, the faction of Lei Hong's sect, the people from top to bottom, have been waiting for Lei Hong's arrival after Lei Hong broke through. But Lei Hong has not returned yet. What's the situation? Brother Lei Hong, why haven't you returned? I remember that Bibo Tianfu, the place outside the boundary, said that Master Meng Han was also injured after he survived the taboo realm, but he recovered after breaking through. Nephew Lei Hong, even if he suffered the injury should have healed, right? At this time, it's time to come back. A group of powerful people from Lei Hong's sect waited for Lei Hong for a long time, but they didn't see Lei Hong return, so they couldn't help frowning, showing doubts on their faces. It couldn't be that those three found senior brother Lei Hong and took action against him, right? After all, senior brother Lei Hong was very strong in the past, and he was even at the forefront when targeting the Nishan realm. One of the most powerful men guessed with a look of fear on his face. As soon as he said this, the expressions of the people around him changed. Isn't it? Even if Lei Hong's nephew was at the forefront at the time, he seemed the strongest, but didn't he not attack the god-defying realm in the end? It shouldn't be possible. Before junior brother Lei Hong left, I heard from him that he would find a sufficiently remote place to attract the forbidden heavenly calamity, and he would be as sure as Master Meng Han that he would completely cover his tracks. Then the three of you may not know where junior brother Lei Hong is surviving the tribulation. Senior brother Lei Hong left through the space. Even if the three of them followed behind, it is impossible to follow up accurately, and if they do, it is impossible to be unconscious. I think we should stop worrying. I have Lei Hong's soul card in my hand, and it is still intact and there is no abnormality, which means that his life is not in danger now. Now Lei Hong naturally doesn't know that the elders and senior brothers in his sect are all worried about his safety. At this moment, he is recovering from his wounds in a small realm in the 10,000 realms. Of course, Lei Hong didn't attract the taboo realm heavenly tribulation in this small world and crack it. He found another small world and arranged a way to hide it from the sky, attracting the heavenly tribulation and successfully breaking the catastrophe. Later, after he broke through, he came here to recuperate. I dare not go back for the time being. The current him, although his breakthrough and new transformation power have made his injuries mostly healed, but this time his injuries are too serious, and he still needs to continue to recuperate. Although with his current injured body, there is no pressure against him before the breakthrough. However, he had to guard against the existence of the other 3 Xian Seventh Orders. With his current wounded body, if he faced those 3 people, he would definitely die, and there was no possibility of him escaping. He has been cautious all his life, so it is naturally impossible for him to fall into a dangerous situation. If he does not recover from his injuries, he will not go back one day. However, as far as my remaining injuries are concerned, plus my current strength has undergone a qualitative change at most a few decades, my injuries are enough to completely heal. Although it has been a while since the robbery was successfully broken, Lei Hong still couldn't help but change his face when he thought of the danger at that time. Too dangerous. He almost died. The scene at that time, not to mention narrowly escaped death, there were still mixed life and death. With a little bit of bad luck, he had already fallen under the taboo realm of catastrophe. It's no wonder that old man Meng suddenly changed his face when he mentioned the taboo realm of heavenly calamity. He bluntly said that without the 4th heavenly amulet, he would not be able to successfully overcome the calamity. Although he had heard Meng Han's warning at that time, until the moment he faced it himself, he still couldn't help the pressure increased, and even felt hopeless, thinking that he would not survive, but thinking that he had successfully crossed the catastrophe with only the 3 amulets of heaven, Lei Hong's face softened, and the corners of his mouth showed a touch of color. Next, let's take a look. There are still a few people who, like me, can successfully break through the tribulation with just 3 heavenly amulets. Thinking of this, he couldn't help feeling a little proud. However, before he could be proud, 2 more names flashed through his mind, causing the smile on the corner of his mouth to freeze instantly. Those 2 guys. He didn't even have a talisman of the way of heaven. With his own strength alone, he survived the taboo realm and stepped into the 7th level of Xian. Lei Hong's breakthrough shocked the world and the land outside the world. However, to Duan Lingtian, it was just a small episode. Now, he feels that his life is peaceful and easy, and he enjoys it. On this day, he heard that Xiao He, Xiao Bai and Xiao Jin, whom he hadn't seen for a long time, the 3 former little ones, all came here one after another when they learned that the land of the gods was his domain. He brought the 4 daughters to meet them immediately. Boss. The 3 little ones of the past have now turned into human beings, handsome men and beautiful women. Although they met Duan Lingtian a few years ago, it is inevitable that they will be a little excited to see Duan Lingtian again. Duan Lingtian was also excited. After all, when these 3 little guys were in the secular plane, they had grown up with him all the way, and their relationship with each other was no different from brothers and sisters. Duan Lingtian asked the 3 little guys what to do next, whether they want to enter the small world inside his body to practice. In the end, the 3 little guys all chose to stay in the land of the gods. There are so many people here. Except for Xiao He, Xiao Jin and Xiao Bai are not people who can stand loneliness. Chapter 4597. What Duan Lingtian didn't expect was that after the 3rd little one chose to travel and practice independently in the land of the gods, the 4 girls around him also chose to go out to practice after staying with him for a period of time. According to their words, although no matter how strong they become, they may not be able to help him, but at least they will not become too much of a burden. Duan Lingtian could tell that the 4 girls had discussed it and did not stop them, but they were required to practice in the land of the gods, and if their lives were in danger, they should immediately crush the warning jade slips he gave. Once the warning jade slip is crushed, he will sense it at the first time, lock their location, and go to the rescue in time. When the 4 girls left, decades had passed since Lei Hong's last breakthrough. After Lei Hong, there is no 5th Xian 7th level existence for the time being. In the bright light world, Lei Hong's sect has been waiting for Lei Hong to appear all these years. If Lei Hong's soul card was not safe and sound, they were really worried that Lei Hong would be in danger. On this day, Lei Hong returned, and his sect shook up and down. Senior brother Lei Hong, why did you come back now? Many people are curious why it took so long for Lei Hong to return. After Lei Hong heard the words, he also told them about the situation he encountered after his breakthrough that year. He had to find a place to recuperate from his injuries, and return after he recovered, so that he could protect himself against the three of them. Lei Hong's return surprised the people of the sect, and made everyone realize that there really was a 7th-level strongman in their sect. Fang Yifan hasn't crossed the taboo realm to this day? Lei Hong asked his brothers, frowning slightly. According to Fang Yifan's understanding, after he broke through, Fang Yifan must not be able to hold back. I'm afraid it won't be long before they will take the initiative to attract the catastrophe of the taboo realm. He glanced inside the ring. Fang Yifan's soul orb was safe and sound, and there was no movement. Never heard of that. Facing Lei Hong's question, everyone shook their heads, and they didn't know the thoughts and whereabouts of the powerful Yuhua Jiejie who also got the Amulet of Heaven. What's more, the other party is not from the Mingguang realm, but from the Yuhua realm. Then he's calm enough. Lei Hong shook his head, then a cold light flashed in his eyes, and he said bluntly, I plan to attack those guys who used to be as famous as me in Mingguang realm. They are all expected to advance to the 7th rank of Xian in the future. Kill one person, and in the future there will be one less person who can catch up with me and stand shoulder to shoulder with me. Lei Hong has never been a kind person. He even assumed that if he was that Feng Qingyang from the God against God realm, he would encourage Duan Lingtian to join forces, guarding the Tongtian Tower with one person and destroying all the saints and world venerables in the world with the other. After the words were finished, without waiting for the people in front of him to respond, Lei Hong left without telling anyone where he went. Because he didn't think it was necessary. With his strength, it couldn't be easier to kill those guys. He didn't need to lead people at all, and bringing people would also hinder him. Old Man Shui. The first target he chose was the Shui family, a top family in the Mingguang realm who was closer to his sect Qinghong Xingzong. The most powerful people in the Shui family are like a cloud. Half-step Jizuan surpasses no less than 10 people, and Jizuan also has 2 people. One of them was not weaker than him in the past, and he was a strong man on the same level as him. His target this time is the opponent. The Shui family. With Lei Hong's speed, he soon came to the periphery of Shui's house, swept out his tyrannical consciousness, and searched every corner of Shui's house without hesitation, intending to find that old opponent and old friend from the past. Not here. Soon, Lei Hong found that the other party was not there, and couldn't help frowning. Boom! In the depths of Shui's house, a figure rose from the sky, radiating brilliance all over his body. It turned into a light and shadow in an instant, and came near Lei Hong, staring at Lei Hong with fear. Although Lei Hong's spiritual sense was strong, he still noticed something after such a large-scale exploration. Congratulations, Brother Lei, for becoming the first Xian 7th-level existence in the Mingguang realm. Lei Hong was an existence of the same era as him, and he was also the best arrogance of that era. He left behind the geniuses of his generation alone, which was beyond the reach of others. And he was also one of the people left behind. Without Lei Hong, he would have been an extremely dazzling existence in that era. Since many years ago, until today, he can't remember how many times he has yelled helplessly in his heart, Jixing him, he Xinghong. Shui Zhu, isn't Xuan at Shui's house? Lei Hong stared at Shui Zhu and asked bluntly. The purpose of his visit this time is the strongest patriarch of the Shui family, Xuan, not the person in front of him who was not as good as him in the past. Shui Zhu, he didn't pay attention to it in the past, let alone now. When he came here, he had the idea of destroying the Shui family and killing the roots. However, the premise is to kill Xuan first. Xuan not dying means that Xuan may take the most crucial step in the future and become the same existence as he is now. If he kills the Shui family first, the Qinghong sacred sect behind him will also become the opponent's target in the future. He had to cast a mouse. Brother Lei, since the ancestor came out of the Tongtian Tower last time, he went back to the family and then went out. Shui Zhu said. Do you know where he went? Lei Hong asked again. I don't know. Xue Zhu shook his head, but smiled coldly in his heart. What he said was naturally a lie to Lei Hong. The ancestor of their Xue family, who left the family decades ago, after learning the news that Lei Hong had stepped into the 7th level of Xian. As one of the top world venerables in the Mingguang realm, Xuan, the patriarch of the Xue family, naturally knows Lei Hong quite well, and he can guess what Lei Hong will do after his return. So, he evacuated early. If he continued to stay at Xue's house and Lei Hong came to the door, as long as he could kill him, he would definitely not let Xue's house go. If he was not there, Lei Hong would not dare to face the Xue family. Just like back then, they, the world lords of the Bright Light realm, as well as other world lords from the upper 3 realms and the middle 18 realms, wanted to intercept and kill Duan Lingtian after learning that Duan Lingtian from the God-defying realm had successfully passed the taboo realm. However, after hearing Duan Lingshan's harsh words, they all turned around and left. They are all worried about being liquidated by Duan Lingtian in the future. Old fox. Lei Hong cursed secretly in his heart, but he was not too surprised. When he came, he was actually mentally prepared for this. Perhaps the others also ran away. Not even bothering to say hello to Xue Zhu, Lei Hong turned around and left, visiting the Mingguang realm one after another. The factions of those Jesuan who used to be as famous as him belonged. Sure enough, just as he thought, no one was there, so he withdrew early. What's more, he went to other Jesuan forces, the ones with only one Jesuan in charge, only to find that all those Jesuan had run away. Chapter 45-98. All gone? Lei Hong, who threw himself into the sky again and again, naturally had an unpleasant expression on his face. He never expected that those world venerables in the Mingguang realm would be so wary of him. You all look at me like this? Back when Feng Qingyang was the 7th level Xian, I didn't see you like this. Lei Hong cursed inwardly. At this moment, he completely forgot that when only Feng Qingyang was the 7th level powerhouse, even he did not leave his sect. Just because Feng Qingyang guarded the Tongtian Tower and didn't attack anyone else, it can be seen that he is not a person who kills indiscriminately. Even when Meng Han's breakthrough in Bibo Tianfu in the outside world, few people left their own forces and ran outside to hide, and even few saints in the outside world did so. There are saints who do this, all of whom had conflicts with Meng Han in the past. Meng Han's character reputation is still very good in the world outside the world. As for Region, notoriously bad temper, killing indiscriminately. They all ran away too. After Lei Hong left the Mingguang realm angrily, he descended on the Yuhua realm and the Hongmeng realm, and the Hongmeng realm is also one of the upper 3 realms. However, he soon discovered, the world lords of the primordial realm and the ascension realm are on guard against him. Except for the forces with 2 or more world venerables at the same time, only 1 world venerable remained, and the rest of the forces with only 1 world venerable, those world venerables all ran away. Moreover, they basically left the lair and ran away after knowing that he had broken through to the 7th level of Xian. Damn it. Everyone avoid me. I, Lei Hong, am I the kind of unreasonable person? Lei Hong roared with filial piety in his heart, and then turned his attention to the middle 18 realms under the upper 3 realms. Of course, he didn't dare to provoke the God against God realm. After all, it was a realm where 2 beings not weaker than him sat in command. However, in the other 17 realms, he didn't have so many worries. They all took a trip. In the end, it was discovered that the world lords of those 17 realms were also just not at home. In this way, Lei Hong could only return in vain with aggrieved feelings. And as Lei Hong suffocated and returned to Mingguang realm and Qinghong's sacred sect, those Jesuan who were hiding also received news one after another, knowing that Lei Hong had come to find them. Fortunately, he ran fast. That Lei Hong is really not human. It's fine to break through by himself, but he still wants to block our way. A few years ago, I saw that Lei Hong didn't come to the door, so I almost went back. Fortunately, I didn't go back. Otherwise, I'm afraid I have died in his hands now. What's the situation with Lei Hong? After the breakthrough, he held back for decades before he came to us. Lei Hong, 9 out of 10 came to us after he broke through the catastrophe. His injuries were difficult to heal, and he recovered for decades. All the respected people in the world are rejoicing, snort. The Yuhua world was filled with smoke, like a fairyland. A cold snort came out, and then a figure walked out. If Lei Hong was here, he would be able to recognize at a glance that this person was none other than the person who got the talisman of heaven at about the same time as him. Fang Yifan, the top respected person in the feathered world. Lei Hong, you still want to kill me? It seems that the 7th level of Xian has given him enough confidence. After so many years of preparation, it's time for me to attract the heavenly tribulation of the Forbidden Realm, and take that step. Taking a deep breath, Fang Yifan finally made up his mind. Then, I found an inconspicuous small realm in Wanjia, and after arranging the means of deception, I was also preparing to attract the taboo realm of heavenly calamity, and prepare to cross the calamity. Once successful, he will be able to take the most critical step and stand shoulder to shoulder with Lei Hong. At that time, Lei Hong will not dare to have the idea of touching him again. In the reverse God realm, Duan Ling Tian lived a leisurely and comfortable life, and sometimes when drinking tea with Xiao Mubai, he also heard about things about the myriad worlds and places outside the world. Some time ago, Lei Hong went to the upper 3 realms, and all the forces with Jizuan wanted to kill those Jizuan, so as to reduce the number of competitors who could catch up with him in the future. Xiao Mubai said to Duan Ling Tian. So cruel. Duan Ling Tian was surprised. He really had this idea before, but he put it down in a blink of an eye, thinking it was unnecessary, and he was not afraid of those people catching up. Even his master didn't think so. Otherwise, before he broke through, his master, who had stepped into the 7th level of the strongest, didn't kill a world venerable or saint. That's right. Fortunately, those world venerables in the upper 3 realms all knew his virtues, so they ran away beforehand. Xiao Mubai smiled and said, later, after he left the upper 3 realms, he went to the other 17 realms in the middle 18 realms except our Nishan realm, and found that there were no world masters in those realms. In my opinion, either they also ran away, or some realms are the same as the previous god-defying realm, deceiving their own realm venerables to still be alive. Before the rise of Duan Ling Tian and Feng Qingyang, Nishan realm had no world venerable, but it was still a bluff to the outside world, saying that Xiao Mubai's father, the former Nishan realm, was still alive. Only in this way can the outsiders be wary and easily attack the Nishan realm. I didn't look at the ones in the 10,000 realms. The small realms outside the upper 3 realms and the middle 18 realms were either conquered by the former and belonged to their subordinates, or they were broken and the power of the realms was forcibly extracted. He didn't go to the outer worlds? Duan Ling Tian asked with a smile. Shouldn't have gone. Xiao Mubai shook his head. Lei Hong's reputation is not only bad in Wanjia, even in places outside the world. From my point of view, many saints from the outer worlds probably left their lair recently. Also, he might not dare to go to a place outside the bounds to do this easily. After all, there is Master Meng Han in the outer boundary, who is currently the only existence in the outer boundary of the 7th level Xian. It will definitely not be easy for Lei Hong to attack those saints in the outer boundary. Hearing Xiao Mubai's explanation, Duan Ling Tian suddenly nodded. In a few days, Xiao Mubai came to look for Duan Ling Tian again. Just received the news that Fang Yifan, the top respecter in the world of feathering, has died. Xiao Mubai said with a solemn expression. Fang Yifan, the feathered world. Duan Ling Tian is no stranger to this name. He was the 2nd person to enter the Tong Tian Tower before Lei Hong in the Mingguang realm, and he also got the heavenly Dao amulet. Did you die in the taboo realm? Duan Ling Tian asked. Should be. Xiao Mubai nodded. He probably won't give Lei Hong a chance to attack him, and his strength is not weaker than Lei Hong before the breakthrough. After preparing for such a long time, he should face the taboo realm. The news I received was passed on to me by a Jizuan from the Ascension realm. It is said that Fang Yifan's soul orb in his hand was broken. Soul beads are exchanged by many people and used for communication. The shattering of the soul orb also means the death of the person behind. Chapter 45-99. Xiaomubai, although he is only a half-step world venerable, he is the face of the Nishan realm after all, and usually he is responsible for receiving strong people from the outside world. The Jizuan and saints outside did not dare to easily find Duan Lingtian and Feng Qingyang, the two great Buddhas, and wanted to form a relationship with them indirectly, so they found the Nishan realm in a detour, and came into contact with Xiaomubai. When facing Xiaomubai, although their strength was far superior to Xiaomubai's, they did not dare to be arrogant, they were completely low profile and treated Xiaomubai as equals. For them, doing so undoubtedly formed a good relationship with the god-defying realm. Xiaomubai is the lord of the Nishan realm, one can guess without guessing, he must be very familiar with Duan Lingtian and Feng Qingyang. Befriend such a person, for them, there is nothing to lose. So, on the other side of the Yuhua realm, just as the news of Fang Yifan's death spread on the front foot, the Yuhua Jijia came out from the Yuhua realm and came to the Nishan realm to share the news with Xiaomubai, a friend, in order to stabilize the weak relationship between them friendship. It seems that even with the 3 heavenly Tao talismans as the reliance and trump card, it is not so easy for Jia Zun to overcome the taboo realm of heavenly tribulation. Duan Lingshan's eyes flashed, and he said calmly. Obviously so. Xiaomubai sighed, and his eyes were particularly complicated, with a feeling of sorrow for the death of a rabbit. At the very beginning, Meng Han, who was in Bibo Tianfu, a place outside the realm, survived the taboo realm heavenly tribulation faced by saints and Jizuan, and became the 3rd strongest existence of the 7th level after Duan Lingtian and Feng Qingyang. He felt that he would become a world venerable in the future, and after getting the heavenly Tao talisman from the Tongtian Tower, he would also have a chance to reach the 7th level of Xian. However, when he knew that Meng Han had the 4th talisman of the heavenly way and successfully broke through, he was filled with anticipation and excitement, as if a basin of cold water had been poured on his head. The flame that had just risen in the depths of my heart was mercilessly extinguished. But later, Lei Hong successfully crossed the catastrophe in the Mingguang realm, which immediately gave him hope again. After all, Lei Hong didn't have the 4th heavenly talisman in his hand, and he survived the taboo realm of catastrophe entirely by relying on the 3 heavenly talismans. Seeing that Lei Hong has become the 4th Xian and the 7th level after the historical partition, he feels that he can do it again. It's just that God seems to want to play a joke on him. After Lei Hong, in the past few decades, no one has successfully crossed the catastrophe and taken a crucial step. Before the birth of the 5th strongest and 7th level powerhouse, he received the news that a top world venerable in the feathered world who was as famous as Lei Hong in the past failed to cross the tribulation and died. I heard that it took decades for Lei Hong to show up after his breakthrough. It seems that there is no such thing as the power to heal his injuries quickly after the breakthrough, and his injuries have not healed, otherwise he would not have shrunk for decades. Duan Lingtian thought about what he heard before, about Lei Hong's disappearance for decades after his breakthrough, and then related to Fang Yifan's demise this time. It is not difficult to guess this point. Yeah, Lei Hong must have survived the catastrophe after a narrow escape. Xiaomubai nodded approvingly. As far as he knew, although Meng Han of Bibo Tianfu was also injured when he crossed the catastrophe, he, who had 4 heavenly amulets, was not seriously injured. The injury healed. This point, Duan Lingtian also knows. Meng Han, shortly after the breakthrough, came to him to discuss with his master. Feather World. Fang Yifan's sect was dead silent. In fact, this was the earliest confirmation of Fang Yifan's death. As soon as Fang Yifan died, someone from the sect behind him discovered that his soul card was broken and confirmed the news of his death. When the news reached the ears of another Jizuan of the sect, the other party couldn't help but change his face and cry even more. Like rain. Because he is Fang Yifan's master. Fang Yifan is a monstrous talent, he is better than Blue, and surpassed him in his early years. Yifan. After a mournful cry, he also calmed down in an instant, and after explaining some things, he left the sect in a hurry. He didn't dare to stay in the sect anymore. Last time, Lei Hong came to their sect aggressively, and he received him personally. Although Lei Hong seemed friendly, he could feel the murderous intent hidden in Lei Hong. It wasn't until he told Lei Hong that his disciple Fang Yifan was not there that he felt the murderous intent hidden in Lei Hong dissipate, and then Lei Hong turned and left. It is conceivable that, when Lei Hong confirms that Fang Yifan is dead, he will definitely make a comeback. This time, if Lei Hong finds him, he will definitely not let him go. Last time, he was afraid of his disciple Fang Yifan hiding outside, and also worried that Fang Yifan would avenge him after breaking through, so he didn't dare to touch him. But now, Lei Hong has no such scruples. The two great world venerables of the sect, one died and the other hid, immediately made the whole sect mourn. Why did this happen? Why? That's right. The Holy Lord Lei Hong of the Qinghong sect has successfully crossed the tribulation, and has taken the most critical step. Why did Fang Yifan, who is as famous as him, fail to cross the tribulation? Fang Yifan, the patriarch, couldn't have been killed by that Lei Hong, right? I also think there is such a possibility. After all, when Patriarch Fang Yifan was around in the past, I heard from many people that Patriarch Fang Yifan was often approached by Lei Hong to discuss, and it always ended in a draw. There is no reason why Lei Hong can break through smoothly. Tribulation, Patriarch Fang Yifan failed to cross the tribulation. After Fang Yifan's death, the sect was in a mess, and he started to take care of Fang Yifan's funeral. At this time, all the top forces in the Yuhua world sent people to the door to offer condolences. The news quickly spread to the other two realms of the upper three realms, Mingguang realm and Hongmeng realm. From these two worlds, strong people crossed over soon and went to the sect behind Fang Yifan to mourn for Fang Yifan. Fang Yifan is dead? Lei Hong also came, his eyes flashed, and there was a cold killing intent in the depths of his eyes. This trip, if Fang Yifan's master has not left, I will kill him when all the morning guests leave. I also didn't know that Fang Yifan would fail in crossing the tribulation. If I had known earlier, I would have killed his master last time. Thinking of this, Lei Hong couldn't help feeling a little regretful. However, that old guy is probably gone. Lei Hong is also mentally prepared for this. When the powerhouses from all sides in the upper three realms gathered in the Mingguang realm to mourn Fang Yifan, the top respected respecter, news about Fang Yifan's death also spread rapidly. The news spread quickly in the 18 realms of China, outside the realms. Fang Yifan, the top world respecter in the feathered world, failed to cross the tribulation. Fang Yifan, a powerhouse in the Ascension realm who is comparable to a top saint, was obliterated by the taboo realm. In the 18th realm of China, the land outside the realm, everyone who received the news was also frightened. Chapter 4600. More than 60 years ago, Lei Hong successfully crossed the catastrophe, broke through smoothly, and became the fourth strongest existence of the 7th level after the historical partition. This incident can be said to give a shot in the arm to all the venerables and sages in the 10,000 realms, and even outside the realms. They feel that the road ahead has already been explored, and the road ahead is smooth. And now, Fang Yifan, who was as famous as Lei Hong in the past, the top respecter in the world of feathering, an existence not weaker than Lei Hong, died in the taboo realm of catastrophe. Real or fake? Go and confirm. The Jizuan of the 18 realms in China did not dare to step into the Ascension realm easily, for fear that Lei Hong would wait there and attack them. Not everyone dares to go to the saints in the outer world, only those who can find the relationship with Meng Han and Bibo Tianfu and go with Meng Han, dare to go there. Fang Yifan is dead? Meng Han was also a little surprised. He didn't expect Fang Yifan to die. However, when he thought of the taboo situation he faced in the past, he was relieved again. It's normal to die. On the contrary, Lei Hong, who successfully crossed the tribulation successfully, has a certain element of luck. After Lei Hong broke through, he disappeared for more than 60 years before reappearing. It shows how deeply he was hurt in the Forbidden Realm. In this regard, Meng Han still has the most say. Meng Han, with a group of saints from outside the realm, crossed the border to the Yuhua realm, and arrived at the sect behind Fang Yifan, the Xuanheng Tianzong. When Meng Han arrived, many people from the upper three realms had dispersed, at least Lei Hongming had already left. However, the divine consciousness he spread out quickly confirmed a fact: Lei Hong did not leave. Hidden in the dark. Is this fishing? Meng Han frowned slightly, feeling that Lei Hong's situation was still too small. He had also heard about the fact that Lei Hong traveled to the upper three realms and 17 of the 18 middle realms not long ago, intending to kill all the respected realms. For this reason, he even went to the Mingguang realm himself to warn Lei Hong not to attack the saints outside the realm. In the land outside the boundary, so far, he is the only existence of the 7th level Xian. As for Wanjie, there are already 3 of them. He is under a lot of pressure. Although he knew that with the personalities of those 2 from the Nishan realm, they would not easily make him an enemy, but he was also worried that there would be another 7th level Xian with the same personality as Lei Hong in Wanjie. At that time, Lei Hong joined forces with that person. If he wanted to attack him, how would he resist? At that time, he probably can only go to Nishan realm to find Duan Lingtian for help. Congratulations. Meng Han led a group of saints from outside the world into the Xuanheng Tianzong, and led by the Xuanheng Tianzong's guides, entered the simple morning hall just arranged for Fang Yifan. Meng Han was fine, his face was calm. And the group of saints who followed either changed their expressions or showed solemn expressions. At this moment, they have thoroughly confirmed, Fang Yifan is dead. Fang Yifan's master, at such a time, actually left Xuanheng Tianzong. It can be seen that he was also worried about being killed by Lei Hong, and worried that Xuanheng Tianzong would be ruined because of this. If Fang Yifan hadn't died, there was no need for the other party to leave. Call. Outside Xuanheng Tianzong, 3 figures appeared. Headed by 2 young men, followed by a young man and an old man. The young man following behind is one of the world masters of the Nishan realm, Xiao Mubai. As for the 2 people in front, it is Duan Lingtian and Feng Qingyang. Duan Lingtian and the 2 knew the way to the Ascension realm, but they didn't know the way to Xuanheng Tianzong, so they went with Xiao Mubai, because Xiao Mubai had acquaintances here. My lord Duan Lingtian, my lord Feng Qingyang, the Xuanheng Tianzong is in front of me. The old man standing side by side with Xiao Mubai is a world venerable from the Feathering realm, and he was also the one who went to the Nishan realm to inform Xiao Mubai about Fang Yifan's death. Duan Lingtian and Feng nodded lightly, and then the 2 of them looked at each other as if they had discovered something. Then, Chi-Chi looked in one direction. It seems that Lei Hong is still planning to hunt and kill the world respecters from all walks of life here. Feng Qingyang discovered that Lei Hong was hiding in the dark, and he had heard about Lei Hong's actions some time ago, so it was not difficult to guess what the other party was trying to do in the dark. Now, the world master of myriad worlds is afraid of this Lei Hong. After all, even Fang Yifan's master, another world master of the Xuanheng Tianzong, left immediately after confirming Fang Yifan's death. I'm avoiding Lei Hong. Duan Lingtian nodded, and at the same time, there was a hint of disdain at the corner of his mouth. Duan Lingtian and the others flew another distance. Before entering the Xianhengtian sect, Duan Lingtian was calm and gentle, but he stopped his body together, as if he had discovered something abnormal. Xiao Mubai and the old man beside him stopped and showed doubts on their faces. And the next moment, the 2 of them sensed a domineering divine sense sweeping from a distance, and it enveloped them in a blink of an eye. However, it is not shrouded in Xiao Mubai, Duan Lingtian and Feng Qingyang, but the old man beside Xiao Mubai. The old man's face changed drastically. Lord Duan Lingtian, Lord Feng Qingyang, it's Lei Hong. Lei Hong wants to kill me. You guys have to help me. Otherwise, I will lead the way for you, and I won't be targeted by him here. He panicked, completely panicked. Lei Hong actually hid in the dark. Moreover, with Duan Lingtian and Feng Qingyang beside him at the same time, Lei Hong dared to make a move. Does this mean that Duan Lingtian and Feng Qingyang would not make a move for him? Don't worry, the two adults will not stand idly by. However, Xiao Mubai knew Duan Lingtian and Duan Lingtian well, so he immediately comforted the old man by sound transmission. Hearing this, the old man breathed a sigh of relief, and his expression gradually softened. Wow! Accompanied by a strong wind, a burly figure appeared on the way of Duan Lingtian and the others. It was a middle-aged man. Under Lei Hong, Brother Feng Qingyang and I have met once in the past. This should be Brother Duan Lingtian, right? With an obviously hypocritical smile on Lei Hong's face, he cupped his hands at Feng Qingyang and Duan Lingtian, and said hello. Feng Qingyang nodded lightly. But Duan Lingtian just glanced at Lei Hong indifferently and ignored him. This also froze the smile on Lei Hong's face. However, he quickly took a deep breath, took a deep look at Duan Lingtian, and then turned to look at the old man behind Duan Lingtian and the two of them. You too, the old guy behind you is an enemy of mine in the Ascension realm, so how about handing him over to me? Lei Hong smiled and said to Duan Lingtian and the two, just give Lei Hong a face. Although Xiao Mabai's reminder made him a little relieved, but now hearing Lei Hong's words, the old man still couldn't help but change his face again. At the same time, Mola looked hopefully at the backs of the two people in front of him. Not far away, a few people who were just about to leave saw that there was excitement here, and they also looked lively. Chapter 4601. It's Lord Lei Hong. Lord Lei Hong, are you trying to kill Master Zhang Shan? The few people who were about to leave and stopped to watch the excitement quickly recognized Lei Hong and Zhang Shan. Lei Hong is the top realm venerable in the Bright Light realm, and of course they can recognize him. In the past, they prepared many big scenes in the Eternal Transformation realm, and the other party showed up. As for Zhang Shan, even though he was not a top-notch world venerable, he was a Mingguang world venerable after all, so they could still recognize him. The most important is, Zhang Shan is the only Jesuan in the family behind him. Now, not only the upper three realms, but even a group of world venerables from the middle 18 realms have almost all hid away, fearing that Lei Hong would kill them. Lei Hong is a man with a strong personality, and he is notoriously ruthless. He was fine before he broke through, and there are many people who can check and balance him. Now that he has broken through, in the 10,000 realms, as long as he doesn't provoke the God-defying realm, it can be said that he has no opponent, and no one else can check and balance him. Master Zhang Shan actually showed up. Isn't he afraid of death? That's right, even the other Jesuan of Xuanheng Tianzong left the sect and hid after the news of Master Feng Yifun's death was confirmed. Who are the two people in front of him? As Master Zhang Shan, they are willing to follow behind. Could it be that they are stronger than him? Top world respect? I don't know the young man next to Mr. Zhang Shan. The one in front of him is one of the two young men. I have seen him before. He is the first 7th level powerhouse who appeared in Nishan realm after the historical cutoff. Grown-ups. At this time, among the few people, someone recognized Feng Qingyang. In the past, when the Tongtian Tower came down, Feng Qingyang sat in the Tongtian Tower and strictly controlled others to enter. At that time, in addition to a group of saints and Jesuan, there were many half-saints and half-step Jesuan who watched the excitement. And this person is one of the group of half-step world venerables. It turned out to be Master Feng Qingyang. The person next to him should be Lord Duan Lingtian, right? I heard some time ago that Lord Duan Lingtian is still a disciple of Lord Feng Qingyang. The legend of the two has already become a good story in the Nishan realm. No wonder Mr. Lei Hong didn't attack Mr. Zhang Shan directly, but let these two give him face. These two are not weaker than him. Nowadays, in the whole world, there are only 4 Xian 7th level existences. I didn't expect that we were lucky enough to see them all at once. Several people were amazed, and they all felt that they were lucky. Here, I saw the existence of 3 Xians of the 7th order. Just now, before leaving the Xuanheng Tianzong, they met the Master Meng Han from Bibo Tianfu, who is also the only 7th-level powerhouse in the outer world. Lord Lei Hong, it is obvious that he wants to kill Master Zhang Shan. Will these two give him face? It should be. After all, they are all people of the same level. Is it necessary to tear your face for an outsider? Just when a few people thought that Duan Lingtian and Feng Qingyang would give Lei Hong a face. Feng Qingyang did not speak, but looked at Duan Lingtian. And Duan Lingtian, after a moment of astonishment, looked at Lei Hong like an idiot, with a hint of disdain on the corner of his mouth. What are you? Also worthy of me giving you face? Lei Hong, this is the first time I've seen him. However, in the past, he had heard of the existence of the other party. As soon as Duan Lingtian said this, Lei Hong's face changed drastically. The few onlookers were also shocked. This Lord Duan Lingtian from the God against God realm, isn't he too powerful? Facing Lei Hong, who is at the same level, not only does he not give face, but he seems to be willing to offend him. Master Duan Lingtian. Zhang Shan's eyes were all bright in the back. Just now he was really worried. He was afraid that Duan Lingtian and the others would sell him out to save Lei Hong's face. Duan Lingtian, are you planning to tear yourself apart with me? Lei Hong stared at Duan Lingtian and asked in a deep voice. Tear face off with you? Duan Lingtian sneered, you deserve it. For Lei Hong, he has no good impression at all. Not to mention Lei Hong's recent deeds, even after he passed the taboo realm, a group of world lords from the upper 3 realms killed the Nishan realm and threatened the Nishan realm's world masters to hand him over. He even threatened to destroy the God against God realm. Among them, Lei Hong is the early bird. If he hadn't left some ruthless words before he left, making Lei Hong and the others throw their hands at him, the Nishan realm would have disappeared long ago. If the God against God realm is gone, his family, relatives and friends will also cease to exist. Lei Hong didn't expect that Duan Lingtian not only didn't give him any face, but also sneered at him like this. He remembered that it was the first time he saw him, right? The other party, is it necessary to hate him so much? Snort. Duan Lingtian snorted coldly, and suddenly took a step forward. In an instant, the power in his body surged out, fused with the laws of space, turned into a giant, and condensed into a sword. A sword fell out, and the sky and the earth changed color in an instant, and the clouds and mists in the sky dispersed. The huge sword flew across the sky, as if covering the sky and the sun, and it fell down in a blink of an eye, slashing towards Lei Hong. Where the sword passed, the space tore and collapsed, and a terrible storm spread, sweeping across the world in a blink of an eye, as if it was going to destroy the entire Ascension world. In the distance, Xuanheng Tianzong's sect-protecting needle rose at some point, barely blocking the aftermath of the force, and at the same time alarmed everyone inside. This aura is Brother Duan Lingtianxia? Meng Han was the first to walk out of Xuanheng Tianzong, and came out to watch the excitement. Duan Lingtian, what are you doing? Lei Hong roared furiously, and retreated immediately, but it was too late after all. The power in his body swept out, combined with the power of law, but it couldn't stop Duan Lingshan's sword. After a brief stalemate, he was directly beheaded. Boom! Lei Hong's body was shaken, no flesh and blood was seen, and he was annihilated in the void like an energy body. It's careful enough, it's just a clone of the law. Feng Qingyang sneered. Duan Lingtian had a calm expression on his face. As early as when he found Lei Hong, he felt that Lei Hong was a bit weird. Later, when Lei Hong dared to kill Zhang Shan in front of him and his master, he guessed that Lei Hong was not the deity, is just a clone of the law. However, even if it is just a clone of the law, even if it only masters other laws of the small perfect realm, with the power of the 7th level of the strongest, and the 4 ways of heaven and earth he has mastered, he is definitely much stronger than Jizuan. However, in front of Duan Lingtian himself, he is completely vulnerable. Beheaded by his sword. Of course, in the face of Lei Hong's avatar, not to mention Duan Lingtian, even Feng Qingyang, or Lei Hong's own deity, can easily defeat and kill him. It turned out to be a clone of the law. The few people onlookers suddenly realized, and the shock on their faces gradually disappeared. Just now, Duan Lingtian, a strong man from the Nishan realm, made a move and killed Lei Hong with a single sword, which brought them an unprecedented shock. At one time, they thought that Lei Hong's true self was beheaded by Duan Lingtian with a single sword. Chapter 4602. Master Lei Hong's law clone. It can't be seen that it is a law clone at all. Among the few people, some people exclaimed in this way. Because, not to mention their half-step world venerables, even the avatars of the world lord's laws are easy to see, their eyes are dull and lifeless. However, they could see Lei Hong's legal avatar just now, their eyes were bright, and they couldn't see anything strange. Moreover, with their cultivation base, even if they extend their spiritual consciousness, it may be difficult to detect the abnormality of the other party. It seems that stepping into the 7th level of Xian is really a qualitative change, said another. Lei Hong is a person from the Mingguang realm of the upper 3 realms. As a person from the myriad realms, no one from outside the realm has blood secret skills to rely on, but he has a law clone exclusive to people from the myriad realms. Of course, after the breakthrough, not only Duan Lingtian, but even Feng Qingyang knew about the qualitative change of the law clone. It was also at the beginning that they didn't investigate Lei Hong too much, they just collided with Lei Hong's consciousness and then retreated, so they didn't notice anything abnormal. However, after Lei Hong jumped out, Duan Lingtian vaguely guessed that he was the avatar of the law. A person who is eager to kill all the respected and saints in the world is naturally impossible to put himself in danger easily. He is sure to escape from the presence of 2 extremely powerful 7th-level existences. Even if Duan Lingtian is only an ordinary 7th-level Xian, Lei Hong may still be able to escape by joining forces with Feng Qingyang, but it will definitely require a considerable price. Later, Zhang Shan breathed a sigh of relief. Although he was also surprised that Lei Hong was just a clone of the law, the strength Lei Hong showed just now was enough to kill him easily. Thank you, Lord Duan Lingtian. Zhang San repeatedly thanked Duan Lingtian. No thanks. Duan Lingtian said calmly, you and World Master Shao are friends, and you brought us here personally. If someone wants to touch you, I will naturally not stand by and watch. If you are killed by Lei Hong, where will my master and I face? The tone is indifferent, but the words are extraordinarily strong. At this time, there was a burst of laughter from a distance, but it was Meng Han Yukong who approached. Brother Duan Lingtian, Brother Feng Qingyang, we meet again. Fortunately, what Lei Hong came from was just a clone of the law, otherwise today there must be no return. Meng Han came to Duan Lingtian and the 2 of them, and greeted them warmly. And what he said, besides himself, only Duan Lingtian, Feng Qingyang and Xiao Mubai knew what it meant. The meaning of Meng Han's words is nothing more than knowing Duan Lingshan's strength, knowing that even if Lei Hong's deity comes in person, Duan Lingtian can keep him, or even kill him. However, Zhang Shan and the few people who had been watching for a while subconsciously thought that Meng Han and Duan Lingtian were friends and were even willing to join forces with Duan Lingtian to deal with Lei Hong. I didn't expect that Master Meng Han from outside the world has such a good relationship with Duan Lingtian and Feng Qingyang. Is this normal? Haven't you heard that Mr. Meng Han was the first to enter the Tongtian Tower in the past, thanks to the blessings of these 2 adults? I heard that when Lord Duan Lingtian was young, he entered Bibo Tianfu behind Lord Meng Han, and now he is still a disciple of Bibo Tianfu. Fortunately, Master Lei Hong didn't come here, otherwise he might really die here. Several people were amazed, and Zhang Shan also felt it was a pity. However, at this time, quite a few people came out of Xuanheng Tianzong belatedly, and when they learned the whole story from the surrounding crowd, they all paled in astonishment. Among the crowd, one person hid behind others and issued a summons. He is a half-step world venerable in the Mingguang realm, and the half-step world lord he belongs to is under the Qinghong sacred sect of the Mingguang realm who is attached behind Lei Hong. His summons was sent to Lei Hong. At this moment, Lei Hong himself, who had an ugly face, was already planning to leave the Ascension Realm and return to the Bright Light Realm. He didn't expect that Duan Ling Tian from the God-defying realm was so powerful that he directly defeated his law clone. He still couldn't figure it out. Where did he offend the other party? Just because I asked him to save face just now, is he going to kill me? It seems that I have to make more preparations when I go back to the Mingguang realm this time. Who knows, will Duan Ling Tian join forces with Feng Qingyang to go to the Mingguang realm to deal with me? As soon as this idea came up, Lei Hong received a summons. When he finished reading the summons, his complexion suddenly changed. What? Meng Han from the outer worlds, in front of Duan Ling Tian and Feng Qingyang, is willing to join hands with them to deal with me? It means that if I am not the law avatar present, but if I am present instead of the deity, there must be no return? The contents of the subpoena made his face even more ugly. Facing Duan Ling Tian and Feng Qingyang, he is confident that he will retreat completely, and at most he will suffer some injuries. But if Meng Han is added, if the three of them work together, he is really not sure to leave. Meng Han, I have no grievances or enmities with you, even you want to deal with me with them? Lei Hong looked ugly, and then quickly crossed the boundary and left the Feather Realm, returning to the Bright Light Realm. It seems that after returning to the Mingguang Realm this time, the Zhongmen can't stay anymore. The three of them really want to kill you. If I happen to be in the Zhongmen, I'm afraid I will definitely die. After returning to the Mingguang realm, Lei Hong did not return to the Qinghong sacred sect, but sent a message to another saint in the sect, telling him that he would hide in the dark and would not return to the sect. Also warn the other party, if Duan Ling Tian and the others dare to kill them, the other party can threaten them. If they dare to touch Qinghong sacred sect, he, Lei Hong, will not let Nishan realm and Bibo Tianfu go. How did things get to this point? The sage of Qinghong sacred sect had a dazed expression on his face. He didn't expect Lei Hong to offend 3 Xian 7th level existences at the same time when he went out. You know, looking at the whole world now, there are only 4 such existences. Lei Hong was one of them, but offended the other 3. What happened? However, Lei Hong didn't bother to explain. After stepping into the 7th level of Xian, his sense of superiority increased greatly, and he didn't care much about what the other party thought of him, even if the other party was regarded as his elder in the sect. Duan Ling Tian and the others were naturally unaware of Lei Hong's actions. After chatting for a few words, the 3 of them also went to Xuanheng Tianzong, Duan Ling Tian and Feng Qingyang. So far they have completely confirmed that Fang Yifan, the top venerable in the Ascension realm, is indeed dead. Hearing is believing, seeing is believing. The purpose of their coming here is to confirm the truth of this matter. It seems that the taboo realm heavenly tribulation facing the 6th level of Xian is indeed extremely dangerous. Feng Qingyang sighed. Chapter 4603. A Meng Han, who successfully crossed the tribulation, moved the hearts of many saints and world venerables. It wasn't until they knew that Meng Han had the 4th talisman of heaven in his hands that they realized that Meng Han's success could not be replicated. Later, Lei Hong succeeded in crossing the catastrophe, but he did not have the 4th heavenly amulet as a basis, which shows that Lei Hong's success can be replicated. At this time, a group of saints and world venerables wanted to take a step forward and enter another realm. However, in only a few decades, there was an existence not weaker than Lei Hong, who fell under the taboo realm of catastrophe, which undoubtedly woke them up. It seems that even if you enter the Tong Tian Pagoda next time and get the heavenly Tao talisman, you can't rush through the tribulation. You must make more preparations and have enough confidence to go through the tribulation. Originally, I was still in a hurry to recover from my injuries, and I wanted to enter the Tong Tian Tower to clear the customs and get the heavenly Tao talisman, but now it seems that I am not in such a hurry. This is the self-talk after knowing Fang Yifan's death after entering the Tong Tian Tower and failing to break through the level, thinking that his strength is not weaker than Lei Hong in the past, and the fallen Fang Yifan's world venerable. There are also 2 Jiazun of the upper 3 realms who just got the heavenly Tao talisman from the Tong Tian Tower recently, and they are all full of hearts at this time. 10 years ago, I got my heavenly Tao talisman. Looking at it now, fortunately, I was not in a hurry to cross the tribulation, otherwise I would have fallen with Fang Yifan. Fortunately, I didn't rush to attract the taboo realm. I didn't expect that even Fang Yifan failed to cross the catastrophe, and died. Fang Yifan's strength is not weaker than mine. It can be said that Fang Yifan's death has woken up the bells for the saints and Jizans in the outer worlds and myriad worlds, letting them know that even if they get the talisman of the Tao of Heaven, they may not be able to deal with the taboo realm of heavenly tribulation. Soon, some Jesuan from myriad realms had an idea in their hearts. One day, they will comprehend the two laws to the state of Dzogchen, and then take the most critical step, let the four ways of heaven and earth enter the seventh level, and attract the taboo state of heavenly calamity. With the help of the avatar of the Dzogchen law, the possibility of successfully crossing the catastrophe is even greater. Even if you don't have two laws to comprehend the great perfection, and then comprehend the two laws of the small perfection realm, you can try to attract the taboo realm heavenly tribulation. Many people are not unfamiliar with Lei Hong's strength. He has stepped into the seventh level of Xian, which undoubtedly means that he no longer suppresses his own world in four ways. Let him go one step further. As Jiazun, Lei Hong must have comprehended a law to the state of Dzogchen. Lei Hong's strength is considered top among Jesuan, mainly because he has not low attainments in several other laws, and one of those laws has even comprehended the realm of small perfection. Certainly. Some of the top world venerables in the world have mastered a law of the great perfection and a law of the lesser perfection, and some have mastered a law of the great perfection while also mastering different four ways of heaven and earth. Not low either. As for the Jiazun who comprehended the two principles to the state of Dzogchen, there have also appeared in the history of Wanjia, but their achievements in the four realms of heaven and earth are often not high. After all, he devoted his mind to studying another Dzogchen law, so that he fell behind in the four realms of heaven and earth. Although he has mastered the two principles of Dzogchen, his attainments in the four realms of heaven and earth are so low that he is evenly divided with other top world masters. After leaving Xuanheng Tianzong, Meng Han said goodbye to Duan Ling Tian and Feng Qingyang, then turned and left. For a moment, only Duan Ling Tian, Feng Qingyang, Xiao Mubai and Zhang Shan were left on the scene. Two adults. At this time, Xiao Mubai opened his mouth, looked at Duan Ling Tian and Feng Qingyang and said with a smile, "Senior Zhang Shan next to me intends to take his family to migrate from the Mingguang realm to our Nishan realm, but I don't know that you two. How do you feel?" Even though he is the world master of the Nishan realm, he also longs for the emergence of a world venerable powerhouse in the Nishan realm, and he doesn't mind even if they are outsiders. Even, the reason why Zhang Shan had this idea was completely derived from his previous joke. Then, Zhang Shan took the initiative to get acquainted with him, and envied the existence of two transcendent world venerables from the god-defying realm. At that time, he jokingly said to Zhang Shan, "You don't have to be envious, as long as you take your power and migrate to the Nishan realm, wouldn't you also be able to gain the glory of those two?" My lords, I, Zhang Shan, really want to enter the god-defying realm, and I hope it will come true. Zhang Shan cupped his hands and said to Duan Ling Tian and the two with a serious face. This plan, he has also been deliberate. In the past, when he met Xiao Mubai for the first time, he didn't take Xiao Mubai's jokes to heart, and even thought that even if there were two transcendent world lords in Nishan realm, it would only be a momentary glory and might not last long. Later, Meng Han and Lei Hong broke through one after another, and he felt that he would be able to break through sooner or later, and even the other world lords in the upper three realms could also break through and take a crucial step. However, Fang Yifan's death made him wake up like a dream, realizing that it is not so easy to get through the taboo situation, and even Lei Hong may have survived a narrow escape. Otherwise, it would not be possible to come back after so many years of dormant recuperation. Lei Hong, he still understands after asking himself, is a master who is arrogant and likes to show off. If he is not injured, he must have returned to the Mingguang realm long ago. This time, Lei Hong's law avatar wanted to kill him, and Master Duan Ling Tian from the Nishan realm could be said to have saved his life. In addition, he also heard Xiao Mubai, the leader of the Nishan realm, mentioned that Duan Lingtian and Feng Qingyang once publicly gave lectures to a group of powerful people in the Nishan realm, talking about the three of the four ways of heaven and earth. Through Xiao Mubai's mouth, he learned that Duan Lingshan's attainments in the way of infinity and the way of control are not low. Therefore, after leaving Xuanheng Tianzong, he also made up his mind completely. Leading the Zhang family behind him, they migrated away from the Ascension realm, and migrated to the Nishan realm. The Nishan realm used to be the middle 18 realms, but now few people dare to look at the 18 realms in the Nishan realm. They all know that in terms of top combat power, the Nishan realm is a stronger existence than the upper three realms. There is a bounded lord entering the god-defying realm, and my master and I are naturally welcome. Duan Lingtian smiled faintly, but he sensed the burning eyes of World Master Xiao Mubai, this world respected. 9 times out of 10, World Master Xiao was the one who tricked him into Nishan realm. Haha. It seems that the god-defying realm will finally have a world venerable. Feng Qingyang also laughed. Thank you two adults for your success. Zhang Shan respectfully bowed to the two of them and thanked them. Later, I will send a message to my useless son, and ask him to lead the Zhang family up and down and migrate to the Nishan realm. From now on, I will hang out with the two adults. Lord Xiao, we will be a family in the future, and I hope you can give me more advice. Finally, Zhang Shan looked at Xiao Mubai again, and smiled kindly. Chapter 4604. Haha. Brother Zhang, we will be a family from now on. Xiao Mubai also laughed, very happy. He never thought that in his lifetime, the first world venerable from the Nishan realm would be dragged from the outside to the Nishan realm. Of course, he also knew that this was due to Duan Lingtian and the others. Not his personal charm. He still has this self-knowledge. In an instant, Xiao Mubai's gaze softened, and he couldn't help muttering to himself, saying to his father who had passed away for many years, "Father, have you seen it? After you, there is finally another world venerable in the Nishan realm." Whether it was Duan Lingtian or Feng Qingyang, he never regarded them as world lords from the beginning to the end. Just because, when the two of them left the god-defying realm, they were not Jesuan. When he came back, it wasn't Jiezun either. When they came back, they were all existences beyond the realm. Lord Xiao. At this time, Duan Lingtian said to Xiao Mubai through voice transmission, "In Nishan realm, the land left by the gods is protected by me, and it is safe and sound. Just arrange him in another plane of the gods. You can also shelter there, by the way." Hearing Duan Lingshan's voice transmission, Xiao Mubai quickly responded via voice transmission, "I think so too." Of course, he thought this way, not because he wanted Zhang Shan to protect other planes of gods, but because he was worried that some people in the family behind Zhang Shan would offend Duan Lingshan's family and friends in the land of the gods. Although Zhang's family must suffer in the end, Zhang Shan can only admit it, but Zhang Shan also migrated from the outside to the Nishan realm, and as the leader of the Nishan realm, he doesn't want him to suffer too much. Follow closely. Xiao Mubai brought Zhang Shan back to the Nishan realm, intending to introduce him to the other world masters of the Nishan realm, but before leaving, Zhang Shan also sent a message to his son, a half-step world venerable of the Zhang family, to let him get ready and lead your family to migrate to the god-defying realm. Migration to the god realm? Father, are you serious? Zhang Shan's son was naturally stunned when he received the summons, and he had no idea what Zhang Shan was thinking. Didn't this father run out to hide from Lei Hong? Why did he suddenly return to the feather world? Moreover, he hasn't returned to the family yet. Faced with his son's question, Zhang Shan bluntly said that he was almost killed by Lei Hong. This time, I am also protected by Lord Duan Lingtian. Next time, it may not be so lucky. Now, even Fang Yifan has died in the taboo realm. I don't think I need to tell you how strong he is. With my current strength, it is difficult to get the talisman of the heavenly Tao of the Tongtian Tower. Even if I get it, I don't have the courage to attract the taboo realm before Fang Yifan's strength surpasses that of Fang Yifan, who was still Jesuan in the past. Unless my time is near. The limit, of course, refers to the exclusive catastrophe that the superpower needs to face once every 10,000 years. When he faced the last catastrophe, he had already struggled a little and was injured. Although it was only a minor injury, what about the next catastrophe? Now his strength is almost not too obvious compared to the day when the last catastrophe came, and the next catastrophe will come soon. He will definitely be able to survive this catastrophe, but he will definitely have to pay a big price. Father, I understand. The son of Zhang Shan didn't expect so many things to happen, and then thought of the death of Fang Yifan, the top respecter in the world of eternity, and his father's discouraged words. He no longer doubted his father's decision, and prepared to take the Zhang family to migrate against God realm. Of course, he knew in his heart that there must be some diehards who were unwilling to leave the old land. For those diehards, he can only let them be, and treat them as the branch of Zhang family in the ascension realm of the future God against God realm. Duan Lingtian and Feng Qingyang didn't go back to Nishan realm with Xiao Mubai, because they still had something to do. They went to Mingguang realm, to the sect behind Lei Hong, Qinghong Xingzong. Today, Duan Lingtian strongly obliterated Lei Hong's legal avatar. For Lei Hong, although it was not a life and death enmity, it was still considered an enmity, and the legal avatar would need some time to condense again. To push people to the opposite side, so naturally there is a plan to clean up the other party. Then Lei Hong may not even be in Qinghong Xingzong. After coming to Mingguang realm, Duan Lingtian shook his head and said, he is an expert in black hands, so he naturally wants to get it. I may come to Mingguang realm to find him to settle accounts. I also think he should not dare to stay there any longer. Feng Qingyang also said, however, we still have to go, don't we? What if? What if he is so big-hearted and stays in his sect honestly? Hearing this, Duan Lingtian laughed. If that's the case, he can only be considered unlucky, soon. Duan Lingtian and Feng Qingyang came to Qinghong Sacred Sect. The sect behind the hostile person naturally doesn't need to explain anything. Raising his hand is a sky-reaching sword glow, smashing down, not only forcing Qinghong Shengzong sect protection formation to rise, but even crushing the formation. Broken. The formation mask all over the sky was crushed to pieces, like stars in the night sky, falling from the sky. I'm looking for Lei Hong. Duan Lingtian spoke, his tone was calm, with the intention of killing. It's the wind. The person who spoke stood beside Feng Qingyang, and he was the one who made the move just now. He must be Duan Lingtian, Feng Qingyang's disciple, another existence that surpassed the world venerable in the Nishan realm. In the Qinghong Sacred Sect, a group of Jesuan stood up against the sky. Although most of them were very angry, after confirming the identities of the other two, they felt powerless for a while. Their Qinghong sect's guardian formation, even if the top world venerables and top saints from outside the world come in person, it is absolutely impossible to defeat it in less than a quarter of an hour. It can only be the existence of the 7th level Xian that can defeat their Qinghong Shengzong's protective formation with a sword in the blink of an eye. Everyone was angry, powerless and helpless. I have met Lord Duan Lingtian, Lord Feng Qingyang. Not only were they helpless, but when they got close, many of them even took the initiative to say hello to Duan Lingtian and Feng Qingyang, for fear of offending them. Of course, there are also some people with backbone who just glared at Duan Lingtian and the two without saluting. They are not worried that Duan Lingtian will move them. If you dare to touch them, the Nishan realm must take revenge against the strongest 7th level powerhouse of Qinghong Xingzong. Sure enough not. And taking advantage of this time, Duan Lingshan's spiritual consciousness also scanned Qinghong's sacred sect, but did not find Lei Hong's whereabouts. At the same time, Qinghong Xingzhu's suzerain stood up and told Lei Hong's threatening message not long ago. Duan Lingtian sneered. Then, looking at another strong man in the realm of Qinghong sect, his spiritual consciousness condensed and pressed on the opponent's body, forcing the opponent's face to be as pale as paper in an instant. At the same time, Duan Lingtian shot murderous intent in his eyes, and a sword glow flashed, and he slashed at the opponent. Then I'll wait for him, Lei Hong, in the god-defying realm. Chapter 4605. Those who are strong in the realm of the world, in the past, in the 10,000 realms, and even in places outside the realm, were high and invincible existences. Now, when faced with Duan Lingshan's slashing sword, his expression changed instantly. Boom! The light on his body soared, his blood was soaring, and he shot with all his strength, intending to block the sword. At the same time, he secretly scolded the suzerain of Qinghong Xingzong in his heart, and told the other party Lei Hong what to do with the threat. Isn't this slapping the other party's face in front of everyone? Couldn't you be more cryptic and use a better tone to tell the other party about this? In his opinion, the reason why Duan Lingtian directly targeted him was because Duan Lingtian was too young, at least very young compared to them old guys. Still in the young and vigorous stage. Of course, he also felt that this paragraph of Ling Tian was a bit too much and arrogant. If he dared to kill him, wouldn't he be afraid that Lei Hong would go around the God realm and kill him in the future? As the existence of the 7th level Xian, he didn't think that Lei Hong would carry out a sneak attack on the God-defying realm. How could Ling Tian get Lei Hong during this period? Boom! There was a loud bang, and as the Qinghong Saint Sect's respectable powerhouse made an all-out attack to resist Duan Lingshan's slashed sword, the aftermath of terrifying power raged around. A group of semi-saints of the Qinghong sect, after being affected by the aftermath of the power, their faces changed drastically, and they retreated to a distance in a hurry. As for the existences whose cultivation bases were not half holy, they were all thrown out, their faces pale, and their eyes horrified. World Zun battle, imminent. They have no mental preparation. As the instigator, Qinghong Shengzong's suzerain, was also dumbfounded at this time. What's going on? Didn't he just pass on Lei Hong's threat to the opponent? Why did the opponent directly attack? Moreover, they still shot at their Qinghong sacred sect's Jizuan. According to his seniority, this world venerable is still his master uncle. You have this strength? Duan Lingtian casually swiped his sword, and although he was stopped by the opponent, he still had the absolute upper hand. At the same time, Duan Lingtian was a little disappointed. Because the Jizuan of the Qinghong sacred sect in front of him is much weaker than the Zhao Ani of the Qingyun sacred sect he met in the past, and is almost the same as Guolin, another saint of the Qinghong sacred sect. Duan. Master Duan Lingtian, have something to say. The opponent shot with all his strength, almost using all his strength to block it, and it was very difficult to block it. Hearing the other party's calm words and seeing the other party's casual posture, how could he not see that the other party did not try his best at all? Perhaps, even half of the strength is far from being used. Before Duan Lingtian could speak, the suzerain of the Qinghong sacred sect spoke again. Master Duan Lingtian, don't forget that my senior brother Lei Hong is not weaker than you now. If you dare to kill our senior uncle, senior brother Lei Hong will definitely not give up. Duan Lingtian frowned suddenly when the patriarch of the Qinghong sacred sect said this, and the face of the Qinghong sacred sect's world-venerated powerhouse changed drastically. In the past, why didn't he think that the suzerain of their Qinghong Xingzong was so brainless? Didn't you see that Duan Lingtian was angry? Young people will inevitably have a bigger temper. If you are not arrogant, is that still called a young man? Really? As Qinghong Xingzong Jizan's complexion changed drastically, before he even had time to comfort Duan Lingtian had already stepped up his attack again. I still say the same thing, I will wait for Lei Hong to visit him in the Nishan realm. Duan Lingtian spoke indifferently, and when the words fell, a more terrifying force suddenly surged out from the sword glow in his hand, and the power was more than doubled in an instant. Stop! The terrifying and selfless sword light seemed to destroy the world, and instantly annihilated the attack of the powerful Qinghong Xingzong Jizuan. What's more, where the sword light passed, the space cracks and black holes that originally appeared in the void collapsed, and a large space-collapsed area appeared. The opponent's offensive, at this moment, seemed to be swallowed by the collapsed space. No dash. Sensing the approaching breath of death, the Jizuan powerhouse of Qinghong sacred sect only had time to let out an unwilling and mournful cry, and then it became weaker and weaker until it disappeared. Hum. The sword light passed by, and if it turned into thousands of lights and shadows, it would crush Qinghong Shengzong's Jizuan powerhouse to pieces, as if a human-shaped glass was smashed, annihilated the collapsed space, and set part of the turbulent space. At the same time. Boom. Rumble. Above Qinghong Shengzong's sky, the sky that was originally blue and clean suddenly became dizzy, countless dark clouds gathered, lightning flashed and thunder rumbled, accompanied by deafening thunder and loud bangs. After the cloud gathered, it turned into a cloud of blood, and immediately the rain of blood began to pour down. What's more, because it was the World Lord who fell, the scene was even more vast and shocking than the half-step World Lord's fall. The area shrouded by the vision of heaven and earth is at least several times larger than the scene where the half-sage fell, which is comparable to the half-step World Venerable. Even another top force that is closer to the Qinghong sacred sect can clearly see such visions. What is that? In this force, a group of powerhouses headed by a few half-step world lords rose up from the sky, looking at the direction of Qinghong sacred sect from afar. Tong Kong shrank in unison. Under their gaze, the commotion from Qinghong sacred sect even spread to their front door. They were far apart, and it could be seen that under the cloud of blood all over the sky, there was an aged figure, shrouded by the sword light, and it was shattered in an instant, and at the same time let out a shrill scream. No dash. Then, the sound gradually disappeared, but the pouring blood rain became bigger and bigger. Is it Qinghong Shengzong's side? Back then, I had seen the fall of a half-step world venerable, but the commotion was much smaller than the commotion in front of me. If Qinghong sacred sect's half-step world venerable falls, the movement will not reach our side. If I'm not wrong, this is the fall of a world venerable powerhouse. A world venerable? Right now, there seems to be only one world lord left in the Qinghong sacred sect. The other world venerable, Lei Hong, has surpassed the world venerable and has become the 7th level powerhouse. This voice, this figure is somewhat familiar, very much like the world venerable of the Qinghong sacred sect. In the end, everyone decided to brave the rain of blood and approach the past to find out. When they arrived near the gate of the Qinghong sacred sect, they saw two figures standing in the void, looking straight at the people above the Qinghong sacred sect's gate indifferently. At this moment, before one of the purple figures among the two figures, the space was still vibrating and distorting, and it was only after a long time that it was completely closed. Even so, they can still vaguely detect the terrifying fluctuations of space power emanating from it. Immediately afterwards, they saw, the gaze of the purple-clothed youth quickly fell on the Qinghong sect master, who was not unfamiliar to them. The suzerain of your Qinghong sacred sect, I will also send him on the road together. The rest of you, tell Lei Hong that I, Duan Ling Tian, are waiting for him in the Nishan realm. Hearing this, they were shocked. God! This person is actually the second existence that surpassed the world venerable after the history was cut off. Duan Ling Tian, the 7th level powerhouse of Xi'an. Moreover, according to the public announcement of the Tao of Heaven, Duan Ling Tian is the first existence to survive the taboo realm of catastrophe after the history is cut off. Chapter 4606. No. If you dare to kill me, senior brother Lei Hong will definitely not let an God realm go. Hearing Duan Lingshan's words, and seeing the murderous intent in Duan Lingshan's eyes, the Qinghong sacred sect master naturally didn't have the slightest chance of luck. After all, even his master and uncle who was a world venerable were killed by the other party. Killing Jia Zun is like killing a chicken. What's more, he is a half-step world respected. You can't kill me. And this sentence became the last filial piety of Qinghong Shengzong's patriarch before his death. Almost when he finished speaking, Duan Ling Tian didn't even see any movement, but he saw the space around him turbulent and distorted, and then his whole body was weird. The original place was fragmented, and the breath was instantly annihilated. Boom! In the next moment, the blood cloud had not yet dissipated from the sky and piled up again, and an even bigger blood rain poured down. The heaven and earth vision of the half-step Jizen's death was superimposed with the previous heaven and earth vision of Jizen's death, making this rain of blood even bigger. There was a dead silence. Whether it was a group of powerful people from the Qinghong sacred sect or a group of people who rushed over to watch the excitement, they all felt their scalps tingling at this moment. This Duan Lingtian from the god-defying realm actually came to Qinghong sacred sect, killing Jizuan first, and then killing half-step Jizuan, and half-step Jizuan is also the suzerain of Qinghong sacred sect. This moment. Among the group of strongest people on Qinghong Shengzong's side, none of them dared to say anything. They were afraid that if they said anything, they would be killed by the other party. Now, they see it too. During this period of Ling Tian, he was young and energetic, and he didn't care about it when he was impulsive. He didn't think about Ni Shen realm at all. Isn't he afraid that Ni God realm will be turned upside down by Lei Hong in the future because of him? They are also at the 7th level of Xian. They don't think Duan Lingtian will be stronger than Lei Hong, even because Duan Lingtian is young, they think Lei Hong's accumulation is stronger. Although Nishan realm has 2 extremely strong 7th levels, they also believe that even with the joint efforts of the two, Lei Hong is still capable of retreating completely. However, thinking so, no one dared to speak again. Their Qinghong Shengzong's suzerain who just died is a lesson from the past. They even realized that if the suzerain hadn't committed death, if the suzerain was willing to communicate with Duan Lingtian through sound transmission in a more tactful way, maybe Duan Lingtian wouldn't be irritated to such an extent. In that way, the only Jizuan of Qinghong's sect would not have to die. It's good now. Qinghong Shengzong, the strongest 7th level powerhouse, did not dare to return to the sect, and Jizuan also died. In the future, can it still be regarded as the top sect in the Mingguang world? Of course, they knew that as long as Lei Hong survived for a day, then the top power in the Mingguang realm would be broken, and they would have a place in the Qinghong sacred sect for a day. Master, let's go back. Dan glanced at the rest of the Qinghong sacred sect, seeing that the other party members were silent. They didn't make any further moves, greeted Feng Qingyang, and left together to return to the god-defying realm. After the figures of the two disappeared from everyone's sight range, everyone came back to their senses. A group of powerful people from the nearby top forces who came to watch the excitement dared to ask at this time, but they didn't ask why, because the group of powerful people from the Qinghong sacred sect were not in a high mood. However, there are still 1 or 2 people, because they have a good relationship with 1 or 2 strongest members of Qinghong Shengzong, and they understand the ins and outs of the matter through sound transmission. Damn it. Lei Hong actually met Duan Lingtian? Besides, Lei Hong ran away early because he was worried about being blocked by Duan Lingtian. Although Lei Hong ran away, he let the Qinghong sacred sect not have to worry. As long as Duan Lingtian dared to touch the Qinghong sacred sect, he would not let the god-defying realm go. This threat seems to be useless. It's useless. Otherwise, Duan Lingtian can come here and kill the world venerable first, and then kill half a step of the world venerable. This time, the Qinghong sacred sect is in bad luck. I heard that it was because the patriarch of the Qinghong sacred sect was so mean-spirited that he uttered nonsense in front of Duan Lingtian and threatened him in front of a group of people, which angered Duan Lingtian. Is he crazy? I don't know if Duan Lingtian can only be regarded as a very young man among the top powerhouses. Young people are not like us old people. Some of them regard face as a comparison. Life is more precious. It seems that Duan Lingtian is obviously this type of person. After knowing the ins and outs, everyone was a little dazed on the way back. And this matter soon began to ferment within the scope of Mingguang realm, and spread widely. What? Duan Lingtian from the god-defying realm killed Qinghong sacred sect and Lei Hong's grand-uncle Jijie? Moreover, he also killed the Qinghong sacred sect master? What's the situation? Duan Lingtian, when only he and his master were the 7th level powerhouses in the past, I didn't see him targeting other people for no reason. Why did he jump out at this time to attack Qinghong Shengzong behind Lei Hong? Made a move? I don't know. I heard that Lei Hong was vaccinated with Qin Hong's sacred sect first, and ran away first, avoiding Duan Lingtian. Does it mean that he provoked Duan Lingtian first? Speaking of this, I have some insider information here. It seems that Lei Hong wanted to kill a Jizuan from the Ascension realm, and the other party had already mixed with Duan Lingtian, and recently led his family to migrate from the Ascension realm to the God-defying realm went. The entire Mingguang realm was a sensation. This astonishing news makes one's scalp tingle. In the history of our Mingguang realm, it seems that Jizuan has never been killed by someone, right? Not to mention our Mingguang realm, even in the upper three realms, there has never been a case of a Jizuan being killed by someone. The Jizuan who died in the history of the 10,000 realms are basically the middle 18th realm, and the middle class who died in the past. Boundary venerable of the realm. Lei Hong hid first. If he knew the news, he would probably go crazy, right? It must be crazy. He might go to the God-defying realm and start a killing spree. Young people are not easy to provoke, the temper is so big. In fact, at this time, in a certain corner of the Mingguang realm, Lei Hong did receive the news. Even before the news spread, he had already received multiple summons from Qinghong Shengzong. Young and vigorous. However, compared to most people who think Duan Lingtian is young and vigorous, he doesn't feel that way. An existence that can achieve such achievements at this age, will it be a young and vigorous person? If he is young and vigorous, can he live smoothly until now? Under the extreme anger, Lei Hong calmed down instead, thinking about whether there was any conspiracy behind Duan Lingtian's arrogance. For example, to lure him to go against the God realm to kill? This Ling Tian wants to trap and kill him? As a person who was once extremely young and vigorous, and suffered a lot of losses because of his youth and vigor, and even had his life hang by a thread several times, Lei Hong also woke up after several life and death. After that, he upholds a principle: if you are not an opponent of the enemy, just admit it. If you can't afford to offend people, don't offend them, just endure. Like Feng Qingyang from the God-defying realm back then, sitting in Tongtian Pagoda, although he was very unhappy, facing the powerful Feng Qingyang, he still swallowed his anger and retreated. If he was still young and energetic, and said a few more harsh words, wouldn't the other party chop him up? As for his high profile during this period, it is entirely because he feels that he has the strength to control those people he is going to control and the forces behind them. Because he was a comer here, Lei Hong didn't feel that Duan Lingtian killed two people in Qinhong's sacred sect because of his youth and vigor, and one of them was Jie Zun. Chapter 4607. However, since Duan Lingtian slapped me in the face so brazenly, wouldn't I be underestimated if I didn't do anything? Thinking of this, Lei Hong's eyes showed a ruthless look again, extremely cold, as if he chose to eat someone. Thinking of him, Lei Hong, who has risen all the way to today, except for being slapped in the face once or twice in Weimar, he has never had a similar experience since then. This time, Duan Lingtian's behavior completely angered him. What's more, if he does nothing this time, 9 out of 10 he will be confused and breed demons, which will do all harm to his next practice. In the Mingguang realm, rumors were flying all over the sky about the demise of Qinghong Shengzong's world-venerable powerhouse. Duan Lingtian and his master Feng Qingyang have also returned to the Nishan realm. Xiao Tian, are you planning to lure Lei Hong to the God-defying realm to trap and kill him? Feng Qingyang asked with a smile. This time, he went to the Mingguang realm with his disciple, and watched with his own eyes that the other party even killed the Qinghong Shengzong, but he didn't express any opinions. Because he knew that the other party must have his purpose and certainty in doing so. If only Lei Hong could be trapped and killed so easily. Duan Lingtian shook his head, although what he did this time was very high profile and powerful enough to completely anger Lei Hong, but he also felt that Lei Hong might not be so stupid, and came directly to his death. When he went out this time, he had seen Lei Hong's cautiousness, and he only appeared as a clone of the law. You must know that this was because Lei Hong didn't know his cards. Duan Ling Tian can be sure that the current Lei Hong must feel that he has enough confidence to escape under the cooperation of the two strongest 7th-level existences in the Nishan realm, but even so, Lei Hong still chooses to be cautious. It can be seen that his cautiousness is beyond the reach of others. Not only, but on a whim, he wanted to take a look at Lei Hong's forces in the Mingguang realm, but the other party had already sent a message back, bluntly saying that he would hide outside in the near future. In addition, he also reminded Qinghong Xingzong that he, Duan Ling Tian, did not dare to take action against Qinghong Xingzong easily, thinking that Duan Ling Tian would definitely not get too rigid with it for the safety of the god-defying realm. I really didn't expect Lei Hong to be so powerful. If I had known earlier, I would have killed him the first time I saw him. After Feng Qingyang heard Duan Lingshan's words, a cold light flashed in his eyes, and his killing intent was awe-inspiring. In the past, the first time he saw Lei Hong was outside the Tongtian Tower shortly after the Tongtian Tower came down. Lei Hong was one of the first batch of Jesuan and saints who came at that time, and even talked to him. At that time, Lei Hong didn't have the current level of cultivation, and his law clone couldn't reach the point where his eyes were vivid, so it can be seen that the one who appeared at that time must be the deity. Hearing Master Feng Qingyang mentioning this matter, Duan Ling Tian smiled calmly. Master, you don't have to be angry. Even if you can't kill Lei Hong in the near future, you may not have a chance in the future. As for Lei Hong, he thought of killing him as soon as he could, because when he heard about this person from the beginning, he didn't like him at all. Back then, he actually took the lead, intending to coerce the Nishan realm into handing him over. 2. Feng Qingyang also laughed. If you can't kill him now, it doesn't mean you won't have a chance in the future, unless he shrinks back and never shows up again. Soon, the master and apprentice separated. Duan Ling Tian returned to Xia's house, and Feng Qingyang returned to the plane of the heavens Ji Mia Tian as before, and continued to be his Ji Mia Tian Di. Since Feng Qingyang came back from the Tongtian Tower last time, he didn't feel used to it after staying in Xia's house for a few days, and ran back to his former place, Mia Mia Tian. Became the heavenly emperor of Nirvana again. Even, as long as the former old department is still alive, he has basically found it back. The current Feng Qingyang is no longer the previous Feng Qingyang. He represents the top combat power of the Nishan realm, the top combat power of the myriad realms, and even the land outside the realm. The text of the Tao of Heaven was announced to the world, and everyone in Nishan realm saw the achievements of Feng Qingyang today. Although, some people still question whether it is a person with the same name and surname. However, when Feng Qingyang returned to Nirvana at this juncture and ascended to the throne of God again, it undoubtedly defeated many doubting voices. Feng Qingyang returned to the heaven of Nirvana this time, and not long after, the emperors from all the planes of the heavens came to pay their respects, but except for a few people who used to be gentle with Feng Qingyang and Duan Ling Tian had an old age, the rest were shut out. The wind is light now, and the eyes of those heavenly emperors are completely different. In his eyes, the emperors of the heavens are no different from chickens and dogs. Only the heavenly emperor, who had a relationship with their master and apprentice in the past, is eligible to be treated with courtesy by him. There are also people who came with the same heavenly emperor, whispering in private, thinking that Feng Qingyang is not the Feng Qingyang in the text of Tiandao, but just a person with the same name and surname, and even the words are disrespectful and offensive. As a result, at the moment when his words that only the heavenly emperor beside him could hear fell, he was shaken all over, and then under the eyes of the heavenly emperor beside him, he changed from a middle-aged person to an old man in an instant, and then became old and decayed all the way. In the end, it turned into dust and disappeared. All this happened in the blink of an eye, which made the heavenly emperor on the side almost pee out of fear. God! What kind of astonishing and terrifying method is this? At this moment, the trace of doubt deep in his heart completely dissipated, and then he knelt down on the spot, begging for mercy. Master Feng Qingyang, the person around me offended you, he deserves death. It is also hard to escape the blame, please punish. Just now, the people nearby saw the person beside the heavenly emperor grow old and annihilated in an instant, and felt their scalps go numb for a while. wondering what kind of existence he had offended to be killed so silently. The person who makes the shot is definitely a strong person who is good at the law of time in the plane of the gods, and it is estimated that they are not as simple as the low-level gods or the middle-level gods. Ordinary high-ranking gods may not be able to do this step silently under their noses. Now, as the heavenly emperor knelt down and begged for mercy, and said nothing, they suddenly realized it. It turned out that it was the people around him who offended the heavenly emperor Feng Qingyang, who had just returned. How dare you offend Emperor Feng Tian? You are looking for death. Humph. Death is not a pity. Emperor Wuxia, the people around you are really ignorant. Someone scolded angrily, and someone mocked the heavenly emperor who was kneeling on the ground. They are also the emperors of the heavens, but they know how unruly this person is usually, and they don't want to be weaker than others. But now, seeing how cowardly the other party is, they naturally treat it like a joke. Get out. An indifferent voice came from the palace of Jimi Tian Tian. From now on, you are not allowed to step into Jimi Tian Tian half a step, otherwise you will be wiped out. Chapter 4608. Yes, Master Feng Qingyang. Wuxia, who was kneeling on the ground, heard the words, hurriedly stood up, turned around and rolled away in the air. As if he was afraid that the wind would be dissatisfied, he rolled very hard. However, no one present at this moment laughed at him for doing so. If it were them, they would only do it more standard. Because, that Emperor Feng Tian said the word roll. Let's go too. Feng Qingyang's voice continued to come, and his tone was as indifferent as before. The reason why I returned to Nirvana Heaven is because I have stayed here for many years in the past, and I have deep feelings for it. So, you don't need to worry too much. In the past, you were what you were, and in the future, you will still be what you are. My existence will not affect you. Hearing Feng Qingyang's statement, all the heavenly emperors from all the heavens and planes were immediately relieved, and at the same time, they also hurriedly bid farewell and left without any neglect. I was afraid of stepping on the person next to Emperor Wuxia. That person, they still have the impression that he is the strongest under Wuxia Heavenly Emperor. Although his strength has not yet reached the level of the Heavenly Emperor, he is still catching up with the Heavenly Emperor. On the plane of the heavens, he can barely enter the ranks of the top powerhouses. If they were to face each other, there would be no more than dozens of moves, and it would be impossible to win the opponent even if they had a chance. But it was such a person who was killed silently in front of Feng Qingyang, which made them feel shocked and terrified from the bottom of their hearts. After the heavenly emperors of Fangfang retreated, Feng Qingyang was reminiscing about the old days with several heavenly emperors who were familiar with him and Duan Lingtian, as well as a few powerhouses from the heavenly plains. Emperor Feng Tian, you too, master and apprentice, are really shocking. I didn't expect that you both took such a crucial step, surpassing those powerhouses who are high above the plane of the gods. One sighed. That's right. Although I saw that your disciple was good back then, I didn't expect him to reach such a height. But I don't know if he will come back. I haven't seen him for a while, said another. It feels like it hasn't been many years. My cultivation has not advanced much, but Feng Tiandi, you and your disciple have already stood at such an astonishing height. I am shocked. It is unimaginable that I am here. I have known you in the past. Fortunately, I have known you in the past, otherwise I would rush to the door now, and I would probably be one of the group of people who were chased away by you, Emperor Feng Tian. Another person said so. And as her voice fell, the others all laughed, but their laughter was a little restrained. Although they have known Feng Qingyang for a long time, and talked and laughed with Feng Qingyang or Duan Lingtian in the past, they also have self-knowledge, knowing that Feng Qingyang and Duan Lingtian are existences on another level. It is a great blessing for them to be able to remember the old days and remember these old friends. The next time Xiao Tian passes by, he'll greet you and we'll get together again. Feng Qingyang smiled. Good. Everyone's eyes lit up, and they also wanted to see the little guy from the past. Thinking of that little guy who used to be cautious in front of them, they couldn't help but sigh inwardly. It really is the passage of time, the vicissitudes of life. It has only been so many years, and the little guys who used to look up to them, now have a strength far stronger than them, standing on the top of this world. They didn't stay in Jimi Tian Emperor's palace for a long time, chatted with Feng Qingyang for a few days, declined Feng Qingyang's polite invitation to keep them overnight, and went back. Of course, when he went back, he didn't forget to remind Feng Qingyang again, Emperor Feng Tian, next time that disciple under your sect comes, you must inform us. Yeah, I haven't seen him for a long time, I miss him very much. I want to see again, the little guy from the past, how much has changed now. I am afraid that standing there, the momentum can make me bow my head. Haha. Facing the reminders from several people, Feng Qingyang responded with a smile one by one. After the few people left, Feng Qingyang stayed in Jimi Tian Emperor Palace for a few days, and then left again. Go to Shura Hell. Azura Hell. Last time, I heard World Master Shao say that there is a place that even he and those semi-holy world masters dare not approach easily. Even his father was injured when he forced his way into it. Azura Hell, before Feng Qingyang only knew that it was one of the 7 evil places of the heavens, and also one of the 3 most dangerous places among the 7 evil places. Until some time ago, he didn't know that the top 3 of the 7 evil lands of the heavens, even in the eyes of the gods' plane and the most powerful people in the anti-god world, are also evil lands. Known as the 3 most fierce places in the god-defying realm. Known as the first of the 7 evil places in the heavenly planes, the god's graveyard is also ranked first among the 3 evil places in the god-defying realm. The second is the boundless abyss. Ranked third is Sura Hell. The 3 fierce lands also have entrances from each of the planes of the gods in the god against god realm. Azura Hell, to Feng Qingyang, is considered a blessed place. When he was hunted down by strong men from the Yun family, the land of gods on the plane of the gods, he survived by entering Azura Hell. Later on, he was even in the Azura Hell, where he obtained the inheritance of the former strongman of the god-defying realm, the Sword of Time. Although Shi Guangjian's greatest achievement during his lifetime was only a half-step world venerable, it was not because of his lack of talent that he failed to become a world venerable, but because he was targeted by others and died. Otherwise, given enough time, he will definitely become a world venerable powerhouse in the god-defying realm. Back then, the Sword of Time was also recognized as the most promising existence to become a world venerable. I didn't expect that in the Nishan realm. There are still places where even the world's most powerful people can be injured. This time, Feng Qingyang went to Azura Hell, precisely to meet the place where the father of the world Lord Xiao Mubai, the former world venerable and strong man of Nishan realm, was all injured. According to what Xiao Mubai said, the Azura Hell is the most dangerous and mysterious place, and as a half-saint, he can enter the other places at will without any risk. Of course, there are still a few places that pose a threat to ordinary Zeons. Everyone who is strong in the world is injured. Where will it be? Could it be related to the period of history before the historical partition? Is it the secret realm or Jedi left by some strong men above the 7th level before the historical partition? It stands to reason that it should all disappear in smoke. I only heard from Shao Tian that before history is cut off, no matter how powerful an existence is, before the way of heaven destroys the world and restarts the world, it can only hide in the land of returning to the ruins to fend for itself. With such doubts in mind, after Feng Qingyang entered Shura Hell, he followed the approximate direction Xiao Mubai said, and headed there. On the way, Feng Qingyang thought of something, and smiled calmly. This Shura is also predestined for us, master and apprentice. I strayed into this place because of the powerhouse of the Yun family who was recruited by Shao Tian. Later, here is the inheritance of the Time Sword. Later, Shao Tian also triggered the taboo realm catastrophe here, and successfully passed the catastrophe here. Although Feng Qingyang didn't experience some things with Duan Lingtian, he heard Duan Lingtian talk about them later, so he knows these things in detail. It's here. Soon, Feng Qingyang came to the place Xiao Mubai mentioned to him, a place shrouded in mist. His consciousness swept out, and there was no movement like a stone sinking into the sea. Chapter 4609. This place is really not easy. After the spiritual consciousness seemed to be devoured silently, Feng Qingyang's originally calm face also became extremely dignified in an instant. It is indeed a place where the world's most powerful people can be injured. He heard from the world lord Xiao Mubai that the former world venerable strongman in the Nishan realm, that is, Xiao Mubai's biological father, was accidentally injured here, and he hadn't had time to recover from his injuries. The catastrophe of the year came, and his father fell under the catastrophe. If it wasn't for that injury, his father would have survived at least 2 or 3 rounds of the 10,000 years tribulation. It was also because of this that the Nishan realm blocked the news of his father's death, and the outside world had no way of knowing that the Nishan realm no longer had a world venerable powerhouse to rely on. Go in and have a look. Even if Jie Zun entered this foggy place, he would return with serious injuries, so Feng Qingyang was not afraid to underestimate this place. He was nervous and extra cautious. Call. In a flash of Feng Qingyang's figure, he was like a nimble elf, lightly sinking into the fog-shrouded land. After entering, Feng Qingyang's expression couldn't help but change. It's just because, within the dense fog, suddenly surges of power that chilled his heart rushed toward him. Boom! Boom! In a blink of an eye, more than a dozen forces carrying the ear-piercing sound of rushing thunder, like an attack launched by more than a dozen people, cooperate with each other, like forming a formation, and the combined attack is directed towards the wind. Hum. Feng Qingyang took a deep breath, his complexion instantly became dignified, and the power stored in his body surged out, combined with the time law of the Dzogchen realm, and the 7th level swordsmanship, he urged a sword to slash out. Facing the attack against him from the darkness of the mist. Stop. The fierce sword glow, as if carrying the power of destroying the world, swings through the void, and the space can be seen cracking inch by inch in the mist. Even after the crack, the picture is affected by the law of time, freezes for a short time, and then accelerates to explode instantly. Roar dash. After the mist, there was an earth-shattering beast roar, which made Feng Qingyang's blood surge, which also shocked him extremely. You know, he is no longer the middle in the past. He is now a super strong standing at the top of the contemporary pyramid, the existence of the 7th level of the strongest. There is a beast's roar that can shake the blood in his body through the air. It's incredible. Even if it's a big monster of the realm of the world, a dozen of them surround him and roar in his ears, it may not be able to make him do this. At the same time, Feng Qingyang discovered that his howling sword glow met the dozens of combined forces behind the mist, and after only a moment of stalemate, he was crushed. At this moment, his mind was shocked. His offensive was crushed. Boom! When the attack was crushed, Feng Qingyang retreated quickly, because the consciousness around him felt the danger. Even so, a terrifying force, carrying its aftermath, still swept towards him. This is... At the moment of hastily withdrawing, Feng Qingyang felt a burst of anxiety for no reason. Call. When Feng Qingyang appeared outside, the fog in the fog-shrouded land ahead could be seen shaking, and then an area without fog shroud appeared for a short time. In this area, a translucent space barrier appeared, and stopped the blood-red power that seemed to be carrying the supreme power. Roar dash. Another beast roar came, and Feng Qingyang could hear it. This sound was undoubtedly the same as the previous one, but separated by the space barrier. The sound of this beast roar was much quieter, and its power was no longer there. However, he could clearly see that at the same time as the roar of the beast appeared, the blood-red force hitting the space barrier intensified and oscillated again, making the space barrier seem to be crumbling. And at this moment, translucent imprints similar to talismans suddenly appeared on the space barrier, emitting a soft white light, suppressing the blood-red power, allowing the space barrier to calm down again. This space barrier. Feng Qingyang sucked in a breath of cold air. Just as he extended his spiritual consciousness, he was swallowed by it before he got close to the space barrier. This also made him realize that the previous spiritual consciousness disappeared, most likely because of this unusual space barrier. It's not that Feng Qingyang has never been in contact with space barriers before, but whether it's the space barrier between the myriad worlds, or the space barrier between the myriad worlds and the place outside the world, to him, it's all the same as Zihu's infinite space barrier. Different. Spiritual consciousness can be easily explored, and people can tear it apart at any time and shuttle back and forth. Stop. Feng Qingyang slashed out with all his strength again. Before the fog gathered and was about to cover the space barrier that blocked the power, he slashed up. In the past, the sword that could easily tear apart the space barrier between all walks of life failed to work this time and was easily stopped. Sure enough. This is Feng Qingyang's temptation. Just now he discovered the strangeness of the space barrier. It can stop the force that crushes his offensive, and it can also swallow his spiritual consciousness, so it can also stop his offensive. What is behind this mysterious space barrier? At this moment, Feng Qingyang's heart is full of doubts and full of thirst for knowledge. At this time, the fog gathered again, covering up the existence of the space barrier. The last scene that Feng Qingyang saw was behind the space barrier, the scene where the blood in his heart receded. I can easily pass through the space barrier to enter, and I can also shoot inside, extending my spiritual consciousness. I can also get out of it without being hindered, and it even stopped the blood-like force from attacking me inside. I'm outside, no matter whether it's the divine sense or the power I'm sending out, I can't pass through it. That beast roar, what exactly is it? Blood tide, is it its power? It was it that almost hurt me just now? It was also the one that seriously injured the father of World Lord Shao back then? Feng Qingyang looked at the fog in front of him, and he really had thousands of doubts waiting to be answered. This place is so weird. However, Feng Qingyang temporarily gave up on entering it again. Because, he found that as long as he had the idea of wanting to enter again, he would feel inexplicably uneasy in his heart. Lord Shao. In order to learn more about this place, Feng Qingyang immediately found Xiao Mubai after leaving here. Ask him if anyone other than his father has ever been inside before. Have. Xiao Mubai gave a very positive answer. Before that, I heard from my father that many people went in, but they never came out again. Including some half-step world respecters. Because of this, my father entered it to explore out of curiosity. That place has always been recognized as a Jedi. Chapter 46:10. Jedi. This is not the first time that Xiao Mubai called this mysterious place of Azura hell like this, but the last time Feng Qingyang heard from him that his father, who was a world venerable, came out alive, so he didn't pay much attention to it. Jiazun can come out alive, and as an existence beyond Jiazun, naturally his life will not be in danger. At that time, he even felt that he must be able to see through the mysteries of this mysterious place. But I didn't expect that I went in quickly and came out quickly. He didn't suffer any injuries, but it was also because he walked fast. Otherwise, even if he didn't die, he would have to pay a big price for the power displayed by that blood tide. Did your father say what he encountered in it? Feng Qingyang asked for details. Last time he only heard from Xiao Mubai that his father returned seriously injured not long after entering, and he didn't elaborate on what his father encountered inside. Come to think of it, as the other party's son, Xiao Mubai should have mentioned the process to him after the other party returned from a serious injury. That's what I said. Xiao Mubai nodded. Father said that as soon as he entered, he felt a suffocating breath approaching from a distance. When he recovered, he was almost drowned by the power in the mist. At the critical moment, he retreated at full speed while resisting that force, but he still suffered serious injuries before he came out. According to what my father said. That power is definitely beyond the power of the world venerable, and it may be comparable to the existence of the 7th level that only appeared before the historical cut-off. It is also because of this that Xiao Mubai did not follow Feng Qingyang to explain the details. He felt that it was unnecessary. The power of existence comparable to the 7th level, as the strongest 7th level Feng Qingyang, would definitely be able to deal with it. Master Feng Qingyang, have you gone in? Xiao Mubai asked. Feng Qingyang nodded. that place is a bit weird. As for the power your father mentioned, it is definitely not as simple as the 7th level. Even if it is the 7th level of Xion, it is not an ordinary 7th level of Xion. With that power, it is difficult for me to go any further, and I can only be forced to quit. Hearing Feng Qingyang's words, Xiao Mubai flinched and turned pale with shock. How can this be? Even Mr. Feng Qingyang, you can only go in and then leave? He was really scared. What is that place? The 7th level can be called the strongest existence in the world. When you enter it, you can't even kill the first blocker, but you are forced to come out instead? That's what it is. Feng Qingyang smiled wryly, then greeted Xiao Mubai, and left. I went directly to Duan Lingtian. Master? Duan Lingtian didn't expect that after only a few days of separation, his master would come to his door again. Presumably he had something to ask him. You have something to do with me? Xiao Tian. Feng Qingyang cut to the chase, and directly told Duan Lingtian about his experience, as well as the previous communication with Xiao Mubai about the mysterious place in Azura Hell. Duan Lingtian couldn't help being moved when he heard the words. He knows the place in Azura Hell. What's more, in the past when he attracted the heavenly tribulation of the Forbidden Realm, he also passed it there. And after successfully crossing the calamity, he also left the god-defying realm from there, fearing that someone would block him and strangle him in the cradle. Azura Hell, when he first knew about it, he only knew that it was one of the 7 evil places of the heavens. It was only later that I realized that it was one of the 3 most dangerous of the 7 evil places. But I didn't expect that those 3 fierce places were also known as the 3 fierce places against the gods. Of course, Duan Lingtian has never been to the other 2 fierce places. Master, you have the power to pressure you? Duan Lingtian couldn't help but ask for details, because in his opinion, this is really amazing. There is such a terrible existence hidden in that place of Azura Hell? Didn't it mean that after the history is cut off, it is extremely difficult to appear beyond the existence of saints and world venerables? Tian Dao has also announced that his master is the first strong man who surpassed saints and world venerables after the historical cut-off. The existence of surpassing saints and Jizuan who appeared later, such as him, Meng Han, and Lei Hong, were also widely announced to everyone by Tian Dao through Tiando's words and less. That was the existence before the historical partition. Only. The existence before the historical partition, even if it is as strong as the old man Wukong, can't he just hide in the place of returning to the ruins, leaving only the remnant's soul lingering on? According to the memory of the old man Wukong, he was definitely one of the top few powerhouses before the history cut off. In addition, in the memory of the old man Wukong, there is no record of the 3 fierce places in the Nishan realm. Maybe the 3 places before the historical cut-off were not called the current names, but there is no relevant information record. If there is such a powerful existence, isolated in a certain place, it is impossible for the old man Wukong to have no news at all. At this moment, Duan Lingtian thought a lot. Shura Hell is so dangerous, so what about the infinite abyss, which is even more dangerous than him, and the cemetery of gods? Wrong. Suddenly, Duan Lingtian thought of another question. The 3 most vicious lands in the god-defying realm, why do you rank the infinite abyss and the tomb of the gods before the Azura Hell? The mysterious place in Shura Hell, even Jie Zun couldn't get a glimpse of it, and retreated with serious injuries. Isn't this the most dangerous place? Duan Lingtian expressed his doubts, and Feng Qingyang was quite puzzled when he heard the words. Then, the 2 had no choice but to find Xiao Mubai. Ask Xiao Mubai, the know-it-all of the god-defying realm. Perhaps, Xiao Mubai, the world lord of the Nishan realm, is much younger than the other half-step world venerable world masters, but he is the son of the former world venerable powerhouse of the Nishan realm. Actually, this ranking was made by my father himself. Xiao Mubai said with a wry smile. The reason why Azura Hell is ranked 3rd is because there is only one mysterious place shrouded in mist in Azura Hell. In that endless abyss, there are 2 mysterious places shrouded in mist. As for the cemetery of the gods, there are 6 mysterious places shrouded in mist. Following Xiao Mubai's words, Duan Lingtian and Feng Qingyang also gained a better understanding of the 3 fierce places in the Nishan realm. It turns out that the ranking of fierce places is based on this. Those 8 fog-shrouded places, can your father be sure that they are as dangerous as the mysterious places in Azura Hell? He has been in all of them? Feng Qingyang asked with a frown. The time at the mysterious land of Azura Hell caused Xiao Mubai's father to retreat with serious injuries, so that he died in the following 10,000 years of catastrophe. He couldn't have been in all the other 8 places, could he? If it was really such a dangerous place, would he still be alive to face the catastrophe? You're tuning into the Biyao's Wuxia Chronicles YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.